Hey guys, before this video begins, I just wanted to mention a couple things. So first of all, this channel is actually very new. So every comment and like and subscribe and everything that's given to us by you viewers is greatly appreciated. And to get this video and this channel out there, all of that will be greatly appreciated. And we kind of want it. I want it at least. Maybe not so much M5, but yeah. Another thing to say before this video begins is this is my first time using my new microphone, so you can tell me how it sounds. Tell us tell me specifically what to change on it and stuff. And yeah, just new microphone. That's it. Just wanted to mention that before the video begins, and enjoy. This will be the intro coming up. Enjoy, guys. Peace out. What is up, everybody? Today on Bengals Buccaneers Talk, we are going to be giving our NFL season predictions, our record predictions, our MVP predictions, our Super Bowl predictions, everything all of our predictions before the season starts. Here with my buddy M5, of course. Say what's up.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? What's good? Hope everyone's doing well when they watch it.
Yeah, it is currently Saturday. Yeah, this is currently being recorded on Saturday. This is going to be uploaded whenever we want, personally. It's going to be before the season, though. 100% it's going to be before the season. But, yeah, we're just going to give our season predictions. We're going to give our team predictions. We're going to see who makes the playoffs, who doesn't, who we think is going to win the Super Bowl, who we don't think is going to win the Super Bowl. Some of our teams that we think are going to do good that did bad last season. It's going to be all of that. All season predictions and stuff. All of that. All of the above. Yep. So, without further ado, how we're going to structure this, we're going to have my predictions on one side, then we're going to have M5's predictions on the other. We're both going to give our standpoints and all that. We're going to say why we chose these upsets and wins and losses and why not. Starting with the NFC West. This is going to be a cut right here. But without further ado, let's get into the video, guys. Hope y'all enjoy. Peace out. Alright, guys, starting off with the first team, we got the Arizona Cardinals. We both actually had our predictions at 8 and 9. Yeah.
That's funny.
Some Cardinals fans are probably going to be upset with that, obviously. But yeah, it is kind of funny that we both decided on 8 and 9. Let's be honest, Cardinals, I mean, they're not really a playoff team. They were, obviously, a couple of years ago, with Larry Fitzgerald and stuff, and all those goats. But nah, they're not a playoff team right now. Kyler Murray, he's unproven. I still think he's unproven, honestly. I think he's just very mid, but he's still got that potential to him. But still, I don't think he's a playoff quarterback. Marvin Harrison Jr. kind of had for what season he was supposed to have, I don't think it lived up to the expectations.
I feel like people hyped him a little too much. I think people really thought that he was gonna go absolutely nuclear, but
yeah.
I think this year he did.
Yeah, no. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying but this year I say he could definitely have obviously a much better season. I feel like he will.
Are you talking about Marvin Harrison Jr.? Yeah, 100%. He can definitely.
And Kyler Murray, he has talent. I wouldn't say he's unproven. I'd just say more he's inconsistent.
I think
some games he'll throw.
What the Cardinals have, they should be making the playoffs. But there's just something about them, I guess. That's
something off.
It's probably because of his. I think it's because of the division, personally. The NFC West is
part of it is the
stacked.
division.
That's NFC West is stacked. 49ers, Rams, Seahawks. We're about to talk about them, obviously. But I think with just how stacked that division is, it's hard to come out on top, hard to win it. I think if they were put in the AFC South or something, or any other division that's easier, AFC East or something, they definitely win that. But in the NFC West, I don't think you come away with much wins. Obviously, we have our wins and losses put here on the screen for you guys to see. So you can take a look over that, but we both got them at 8 and 9, missing the playoffs in this stacked NFC West. So we got the Cardinals coming out last in the division, and that's just what we got. Cardinals 8-9. Agree to disagree if you don't agree.
Exactly. I mean, it's just like, especially looking at their schedule, they got like, they have some decently tough opponents.
They gotta play the AFC North. They gotta play, yeah. Or no, wait, do they? No, they don't. They gotta. My bad. That's me not knowing my divisions and schedules. They gotta play the NFC South. They gotta play the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are a hard opponent. They gotta play their own opponents. They gotta play the AFC South with the Texans and the Jaguars, who might be good this year. Like, I mean, it's just
exactly.
Like, I just don't think
it's just what how things. Yeah, just so how things are looking with the Cardinals. It's hard to see them get past 8 wins. Honestly, maybe even a couple of the wins we gave them, they could easily drop them, or maybe in certain cases, like obviously, like maybe like if the Jags or something aren't all that, they could win that game, or if the Niners get injured again, they could like maybe get the upset. But it's just how things are, or like how things are looking currently. I mean, it just seems like 8-9 is the best scenario for them.
100%. That's all we got, guys. Cardinals 8-9, missing the playoffs, last in the division. Let's move on to the Seattle Seahawks. All right, on to the next team. We got an interesting team from last season, the Seattle Seahawks. I had them going 7-10. M5, you had them going
11-6 and actually winning the division and making the playoffs.
Yeah, so here's where I think that M5's crazy, because they got Sam Darnold. Like, they got Sam Darnold. They lost like everybody in this offseason, but they did get Cooper Kupp. But I don't think Sam Darnold's gonna be. Like, point being, Sam Darnold, I don't think he's gonna be the Vikings Sam Darnold that we knew last year. I think Sam Darnold is a system QB, and he was good in the system. God, that was terrible. He is good in the system of Kevin O'Connell and his Vikings offense. And I don't think he's just going to be the same way in Seattle with the Seahawks offense and with, like, I just don't think it's going to be good. Geno Smith was behind, like, that weird, strange offensive line where it wasn't bad, but it wasn't, like, really, really good either. Like, Geno Smith was still running for his life on some plays, if I remember correctly. And I just don't think Sam Darnold's just going to be good that way. And I don't think, like, Cooper Kupp and JSN and the loss of Tyler Lockett and all those other people is going to make it any better at all. And I think they're just going to go 7-10. So, like, Cooper Kupp and all these other players are not going to, like, allow them to lose. Like they're not going to get, like, a high pick, but they're not going to get, like, they're just not going to be good. 7-10.
Meanwhile, I think that Sam Darnold has a chance. I mean, obviously, you know, the Viking season was his best. I mean, we all know how he was on the Jets. But even like that, 2022 on the Panthers, he had those, like, few weeks where he was actually, like, I wouldn't even say a decent quarterback. So I'm thinking with the Seattle offense, yes, they lost DK Metcalf. Yes, they lost Tyler Lockett, but Cooper Kupp, JSN, those are two good receivers. I think that can help him well. He has a good running back in Kenneth Walker. Offensive line may not be the best, but I feel like Darnold has the scrambling ability to be able to maybe get out of those. But I just see him, like, having a good chance, especially with their schedule. I feel like that's the main reason I have them winning the division, is because I honestly think their schedule is winnable enough to make the playoffs.
I don't know, man. Like, you got to think about, we're back in the stacked NFC West division. They got to play the 49ers twice, the Rams twice, the Cardinals twice. They got to play the AFC South, which the Texans, and they got to play the NFC South with the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers aren't an easy opponent, obviously. Like, I mean, it's just, like, I just don't think Sam Darnold can do it. Like, even against the Panthers and teams like that, I think he's going to struggle. The Falcons, with their draft picks that they've taken this draft, I think, like, they're gonna destroy that Seattle offensive line, and it's just not going to be good for them.
But meanwhile, I think that, I mean, obviously, half of it depends on how the O-line plays and everything, but I think with a lot of these teams, like the Niners are obviously I mean, last year they got battered, bruised, and injured, but they also lost like half their team to free agency. We can't forget about that. And so that's why I think, like, obviously they still have Purdy, still have like most of the offense besides a few key players, but I still think they have a chance to split with teams like the Rams and the Niners and beat teams like the Cardinals in their division to have those divisional wins, and those stack up, and that's why I think they go 11-6 and just win the division.
Well, that's what we got. Seattle winning the division from M5. Seattle going 7-10 and getting third in the division from me. With the third team, we have the San Francisco 49ers. We both had them going 10-7. And depending on the math is going to be done after we're done, like talking about all these teams. We'll show you the playoff picture, and they potentially are a playoff team. We're going to have to check the math on that one. But yeah, we both had them going 10-7. You can, I'll give my thought process. They're gonna be healthy for the first couple of weeks. They'll go on like a 4-game winning streak or something. Christian McCaffrey will be back and stuff, and then they'll go on like a 3-game losing streak, I think. They'll probably get maybe Christian McCaffrey or an injury happens, maybe George Kittle or something gets injured. I don't know. There's always injuries with this team. It feels like that was basically what kept them out of the playoffs last year. But I just think 10-7 is a good number. I think that's what they get. I think especially coming off of last year, they're not going to be as explosive as they were in 2023 and stuff. And I just think 10-7 is perfect for San Fran. And 5, you can give your opinions now.
I mean, I agree. 10-7, maybe even 9-8 is a record I would put. I mean, free agency killed this team a lot. I mean, they lost half. I feel like half their team got lost. Obviously, Deebo Samuel, he got traded to the Commanders. So Brandon Ayuk is gonna be more like their. I mean, obviously they got the new acquisition in Brian Robinson to kind of be a RB2 with CMC.
Juwan Jennings, though. Juwan Jennings.
And Juwan Jennings, those are gonna be Brock Purdy's top receivers for this season, and. I mean, hopefully they can stay healthy, because obviously I feel like the health of this team is going to help them either stay 10-7 and potentially maybe sneak in as a 7th seed, or go 9-8, maybe 9 or 8 wins and miss the playoffs in general. I mean, also with their schedule. Yeah, with their schedule. I mean, I would say their early stretch for the first 4 weeks. They could easily go. I have them going 3-1, but they could easily go 4-0. I just think you hit weeks 5 through 10. That's when they're gonna probably start getting, I say, exposed by certain teams, showing their flaws and everything. And then that's where I feel majority of the losses are gonna come in. And then through the second half of the season, I still say they're gonna because majority of the schedule in the second half isn't hard. Really only teams like the Cardinals, maybe the Panthers, we have to see. Seahawks once. Who knows, maybe the Bears, but I kind of doubt it, but we'll save that for later. But overall, that second half's easy. That's probably what's going to get majority of their wins, and well, 10-7 is how I see it. Maybe it'll be a 7th seed, but I think there's a chance they might just squeeze out the playoffs.
Heard it from us here, folks. 10-7 49ers, potential playoff team. All right, our final team of the NFC West, everybody knows it, the Los Angeles Rams. I got them going 12-5. M5's got them going 11-6. So I'll start. For my reasoning, I got them losing to the Texans week 1 because of Stafford's injury. Like, that's still, at the time of recording, not really, like, panning out very well, it feels like. Like, he's not, like, I haven't been paying attention to the news very well, but I don't think it's getting much better. Like, I think he's actually still in, like, rehab right now and is actually, like, questionable to start week 1. But other than that, I mean, they went against the Titans. Cam Ward's unproven. The Eagles are going to lose, too, because the Eagles are the Eagles. The Eagles are, oh, they're stacked. They win against, like, I think they're going to split with the 49ers. We'll see how that goes. Like, on that losing streak that we were talking about last segment, like, with the 49ers last, like, in this last team. Got them losing to the Ravens. The Ravens are the Ravens. Like, just overall, like, I think they're going to go 12-5 because, like, the Rams over these past couple of years have, like, owned that division. I mean, like, Super Bowl 2021 happened, and obviously I think, like, that, like, ever since they've kind of, like, just been the owners of that division. That's how I think. Like, Rams are going to win the division. I don't think it's going to change from last year. I mean, they got Puka Nacua, he's, like, top 7 maybe. I think he's the top 7 receiver in the league. Maybe even top 5, but I think that's a little too high. But I mean, yeah, Rams are the Rams. They're gonna win 12-5. At 5, 11-6. Go.
All right. Well, I feel like I have them going 11-6 because I've kept up with some of the Stafford. Obviously, the big thing is Stafford's injury. I've kept up with some of the news, and you know, like, he's been practicing as of recently, but, you know, like, there is a chance that maybe the first 2 weeks of the season he might not be able to play. It all depends on how he feels closer to week 1. So that could potentially maybe even take him out of the Titans game and lose a game. Who knows? But the reason I feel like I have him going 11-6 is, I mean, obviously the main losses, they have the certain teams, like I said, like the Eagles, the Ravens, the Lions, teams like that, teams that are like powerhouses. I have them even, I think, losing week 18 because I feel like the Rams will make the playoffs. It's going to be one of those games where they just put their backups in and, like, it doesn't really matter. So, but obviously, like, they have the talent, you know. Devontae Adams, the new receiver with Puka Nacua, should be an interesting duo. We'll see how that goes. You know, Kyren Williams, good. I would say a pretty good to decent running back on the team. Defense still should be decent.
Jared Verse.
Maybe
Jared Verse.
Jared Verse.
I cannot.
He should be a. He's a pretty good player, I would agree. So I think he would be able to, you know, help the team a lot, especially obviously on the defensive side. But yeah, I just see him potentially maybe even losing like 1 or 2 key games to maybe fall out at first place. But I would definitely say they're second at worst, maybe even first, depending on maybe they win 1 or 2 more games. You never know. But that's how I think. I think 11-6. Them and the Seahawks will make the playoffs. That's my opinion for this division.
We got a 1-win difference in our opinions. We'll see how this goes. Going to the NFC South. Bam. Kicking it off with the NFC South, we got the New Orleans Saints, which I'm not gonna lie, oh god, they're gonna be pretty bad this year. I had them going 2-15. M5, you had them going
3-14.
3-14. So yeah, not much changing, only a 1-win difference, but golly, the Saints are gonna be some really. Like, they're going to be some dog poop, bro. They're going to be terrible this year. We get, like, I mean, they got Spencer Rattler in at quarterback, with Tyler Shuck still being pretty unproven. He didn't look bad in the preseason this year, but, like, he's not gonna bring them to the playoffs or anything. I don't even think they're going to make it to a winning record at all this season. Definitely probably going to tank for the first overall pick, I would assume. Chris Olave and stuff's going to be there. Rashid Shaheed's going to be there. But, like, they're not fixing this team. This team's got a lot of issues, man. M5, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I know as a Bucks fan, I'm happy that the downfall happened, but I'm also kind of sad because this Bucks versus Saints used to be a rivalry, kind of. Like, it used to be like I hate them. Now it feels like I hate the Falcons more because they're actually more competitive. Because, like, at this point, the Saints might need a free Chris Olave. Like, just trade the man to an actual good team. Like, let the man have a chance because... Holy, in their schedule.
Same for Alvin Kamara, man. Like, he's good too.
Well, Alvin Kamara is just a saint for life type thing. He doesn't, you know. But I mean, their schedule doesn't help. I mean, realistically, I gave them 3 wins, but they could easily lose those games. They could go. This is the one team I could say literally their floor is like no wins. Their floor is literally going 0-17. I mean. They got teams like the Bills, the Seahawks, the Rams, and like those teams. I feel like they have no chance in hell at that point. And just other teams, I feel like even with rookies like Cam Ward and stuff, it's by the end of the season they're probably just gonna tank at that point, and they're definitely getting a top 5 pick at the worst for them, and probably picking maybe not. Quarterback, we'll see how it goes, but somebody.
Honestly, couldn't have said it any better than myself. There you have it, folks. New Orleans Saints. Trash. Alright, kicking it off with our next team as well. We got the Carolina Panthers. Let's be honest, they're not making the playoffs this year. I don't think their draft class was good enough. They got Tedero and McMillan, for Bryce Young to throw to, which is good because Bryce Young is starting to redeem himself a little bit. We'll elaborate on that here further soon. But I got him at 6 wins. M5's got them at 4 wins.
4 wins.
Mind explaining yourself for that, M5?
I mean, it's not that I think Bryce Young is going to be bad. I just think he's not going to be able to carry everything. The defense didn't get too many upgrades, and I feel like that's their main flaw. And that's why I see him losing a lot of these games. It could be a situation where Bryce Young has a good day, but the overall defense just can't help him. I mean, they have some tough opponents. Obviously, teams like the Cowboys, the Bills, the Packers, even the Jets with Justin Fields can probably give him some trouble. But I see maybe 1 or 2 upsets very possible, and this record could go up maybe a game or 2. We're more closer to what Fauna has. I could definitely see that. I could see him making a couple upsets, especially if Bryce Young keeps up his momentum from the end of last season, where he honestly seemed like he was good. But I'll pass it over to Fauna to put his statement.
Yeah, so the reason I chose them going 6 wins, I think for the first 2 weeks, they're going to go 2-0. They're going to, Bryce Young's going to have that momentum from last season that I just talked about. He's going to ball out against the Jaguars and the Cardinals, giving them those 2 wins. He's going to lose against the Falcons. The Falcons' draft defense is going to be too much for that offensive line to handle. It's going to be running around a lot. I think the defense for the Falcons and just in general, the Falcons in general are going to have it good by then, by week 3. So they're going to lose that game. They're going to win over the Patriots. Then they're going to lose to the Dolphins in Dallas because, I mean, I don't think the Panthers are just going to win those games. They're going to win against the Jets in Justin Fields. They're going to get destroyed by Buffalo and Green Bay. And then I got them winning over the Saints and then winning over the Falcons, splitting with them. And this is where I had them absolutely falling apart. They get into the harder part of their schedule with the 49ers, Rams, and the final 2 Buccaneers games. And they're just going to, like, I think they're just going to go on a hard losing streak then. Like, they're going to lose against the 49ers, lose against the Rams, even a loss against the Saints, because I feel like they're going to want at least, like, one final win for their season. If they're going to go 2-15, they're probably going to take it all out on the Panthers. But, yeah, Buccaneers are going to lose twice. Maybe even the Buccaneers have playoff implications by the end, so they try in Week 18 and they win. And then, like, Week 17, the Seahawks, I think the Seahawks just have a better roster, better defense. Like, it just I just think that Bryce Young is going to have to, like, go hard against these defenses if he really wants to ball out and prove that he's good. And I don't think he can do that. I don't think Bryce Young is bad, but I don't think he'll be top 10 this next season.
You know what's funny? Before we finish this up, I'm sorry to interrupt, but before we finish this, the one thing that Funna like reminds me of is kind of like last year's Saints, where like they started off 40 points a game, thinking like
100.
they're on top of the world, and then they fell off a cliff. And I feel like the Panthers have a chance to do something like that.
Yeah, like they can, like I think they'll be looking good at the beginning. Bryce Young will be okay, and then they'll just like the Panthers will just panther themselves essentially, and they'll just go on a hard losing streak, miss out on the playoffs, and miss out in general, miss out on everything, 6-11. But yeah, Panthers fans, I'm sorry. I really want y'all to succeed this season, but I don't think it's gonna happen. For the second to last team in the NFC South, we have got the Atlanta Falcons. We both had them going 9-8, bro. They're gonna collapse like they do every single year ever since 28-3. Here's a hot take of mine. I think that the Falcons are actually under this curse where they literally collapse on themselves like every single season. Ever since this last season, I've had that mentality. Like, I think that the Falcons are just going to collapse on themselves, miss the playoffs like always, and they're just like not going to get a very good pick either to improve them. I do think that the defense is going to be good. I think the offense is going to be well, but I think they're under like this curse, like the Bears and the Jets, and they're just not going to get it done, not complete the journey to the playoffs. M5 probably has some more like in-depth thinking than me. I just had that mentality though. Take it away, M5.
Alright. Well, I feel like the main reason I have them going 9-8. A is just because I guess Florida has some kind of point like a curse, but B, it's more like I'd say just certain games. Like they have the Commanders on their schedule. I don't think they're gonna win against them. Without the Bills, Niners, even the Dolphins, I feel like will win games. I just feel like they have talent. Like Drake London, Bijan Robinson, and even Kyle Pitts if they actually use him. But I don't know. It's just like the defense. I mean, they dressed it, but it's still, I'd say, not as good as they probably want it to be. That's probably still, I would say, their main issue is definitely defense. Well, obviously, we'll see how those rookies are. If they're good, maybe it'll improve. But if they're not right away that good, then their defense might stagnate, and that's probably what's going to cause most of those losses. Because they have some talent on defense, but there's definitely some holes in there that they need to fix up. So that's why I see them going 9-8.
One thing that I didn't address is probably going to be that offensive line, I feel like. I mean, I don't know
how
it did last
also,
season.
their right tackle just got injured.
It was very good, right? Yeah, like I think it was just a very mid offensive line. We're gonna see how Michael Penix does under all the pressure that he's gonna be getting this season. He didn't look bad last year, but like I don't know, like I just don't think he can lead them to the playoffs. No offense to Michael Penix, I think he's a good quarterback. I just don't think he'll be able to do it with this Falcons roster. But we'll see. 9-8.
Yeah.
Rounding it out with the final team in the NFC South, we have got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I had them going 13-4. F5 had them going 12-5. F5, give me your reasoning as to why you thought they were going to go 12-5. Talk to me.
I mean, this team, the wide receiver core is stacked. I mean, Baker's a good QB. Bucky Irving seems to be a really good running back. And their schedule isn't the hardest. Most of these teams, I feel like we have a chance. Even teams like the Bills and the Lions and the Eagles especially, I feel like we have a chance to beat them. So that's why I see majority of these games going to the Bucs, especially this end of season schedule where after honestly week 12, all those games are winnable. All those games are winnable in my opinion. And as long as we stay healthy and, I think we can work around the Wirfs injury. Jalen McMillan, I know recently got hurt. We can work around that. We have the talent and we have the players and the team to be able to do it. And that's why I think we go 12-5.
Oh yeah, going back to that Tristan Wirfs injury, these games are definitely going to give like a hard time for the Buccaneers, I feel like, but I still think I got faith in this team. I think they could pull off some major upsets. I got them winning the first 2 games against the Falcons and the Texans. But then, as per tradition with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going to lose week 3 to the Jets, and because that should become a tradition. It's like the Bengals losing week 1 for them. But then we got the Eagles. The Buccaneers have absolutely owned the Eagles in these past few years. Eagles fans, you guys can stay mad. The Buccaneers, they always pull through against them. I think it's going to be no different here on week 4. I chose an upset for the Seahawks over the Buccaneers, but I'm gonna be honest, I could see that not happening, and then they lose another game and they win that one. But that's just me. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think they're gonna have a down week in week 5. And they're going to lose against the Seahawks. But then I got them winning over the 49ers, winning over the Lions, winning over the Saints, sweeping the Saints as a matter of fact. The reason I chose them winning over the Lions is because, we saw what happened last year. I think that could actually happen again. And depending on how beat up or, how good the Lions are doing by then. They could be terrible next year for all that I know. And the Buccaneers could be booming. And I could definitely see that happening. I chose them splitting with the Falcons, beating the Bills for an upset. I think the Buccaneers have one of the greatest rosters in the NFL. Definitely, their wide receiver rooms are deep. Baker Mayfield is cooking. He just needs to tone down the interceptions a little bit. But 13-4 for the Buccaneers for me, 12-5 for M5. By the way, there you go, viewers. There's no bias towards the Buccaneers from M5 because M5's the Buccaneers fan. I'm the Bengals fan, obviously. No bias. This is completely based off of ball knowledge. Buccaneers, 13-4.
Definitely.
Going to our third division in the NFC, we have got the NFC North. Starting it off with the Chicago Bears, who they're going to come last in the division again, even with Caleb Williams, I feel like. Actually, no. I think they're going to come last in the division. M5 has the Bears going 8-9 and placing third in the division, I believe, based on, looking back on all the predictions after this is all recorded. But I had the Bears going 7-10. M5 had them going 8-9. Go ahead and explain yourself, M5.
I mean, with the Bears, I just feel like they have like, I mean, they definitely have talent. I mean, DJ Moore, even like Rome Adunes, they should be a decent receiver. Yes, they lost Keenan Allen and other points, but they beefed up their offensive line to help Caleb Williams, and they still have a good running back. Their defense is still pretty good. Um, and I think a lot of these games and their schedule are easily winnable. They could sweep the Vikings, but I have them splitting. It's just they have a rough patch. They got, the Lions in their division. They got the Ravens, even the Bengals, Packers. Because Packers and Bears, I mean, we all know how that goes. And the Eagles, it's just hard to see them, making upsets this season. And that's why I have them going 8-9, because most of these games, it's really hard to see them maybe like getting that kind of upset. And I don't think they're going to be the worst team, but I would say they're going to be more third.
100%. So the thing with the Bears for me is that I really like what they did this offseason. They always improve their team on paper in the offseason, only for no real threat to any teams at all. Except for this last season, it was the Hail Mary that destroyed their entire season. They were actually, I think, on track to make the playoffs if it weren't for that. But then they went on 8 straight losses, if I remember correctly, or something.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, the Bears, they got Ben Johnson. I don't know how he's going to translate to being a coach, a head coach, as opposed to an offensive coordinator. We're going to get into that with the Jaguars as well, with Liam Cohen. But, I mean, I think if they wanted to make the playoffs, they should have done it last year with their easy opponents. If I remember correctly, they had to play the AFC South, and that definitely would have been the time to do that. I feel like if you were the Bears and you wanted to make the playoffs. But, I mean, they got to play the NFC East this year. They got the Cowboys, Commanders, Eagles now. Got to play the stacked AFC North, Bengals, Ravens, even the Steelers. I feel like they could pull an upset over them. But, I mean, yeah, the Bears, they're just, I think they're also under this curse, the Falcons, where they can't make the playoffs. Especially ever since, 2017 with the double doink and stuff. They've just, this bad stuff just happens to all these NFL teams, and it, curses their franchise, it feels like. It's kind of strange, honestly. It's like black magic or something. But, that's what I got. 7-10 for the Bears. M5's got them at 8-9, being third in the division, while I got them coming last in the division, in the stacked NFC North. Going to the second team in the NFC North, we have got the Minnesota Vikings. I got them going 9-8, which I don't know if that's a hot take coming off of last season. M5's got them going
7-10 and missing the playoffs.
Coming last in the division, actually, from M5. Mind explaining yourself, M5?
I mean, mainly it's JJ McCarthy. I mean, he's coming off an injury on his rookie year where he pretty much didn't play the whole season. And so pretty much this is his rookie year. And I just he's unproven. I feel like he's not going to be able to read every NFL defense. He's going to struggle. He's going to make those kind of rookie mistakes. Plus, he's in a stacked division where I just feel like the other teams, at least Caleb had a year, so he knows the offense a little bit more. Jordan Love's had a few years, and then the Lions, they're the Lions. I just think that, overall, especially with their schedule, with some of the teams they play, I just don't see them, having a winning record or maybe going one more win, but it's just, he's completely unproven to me, so I just feel like he's going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So the reason I got them going 9-8 is because, I mean, we've seen how Michigan quarterbacks perform I think like they come out of there good. They're gonna be okay, and he's coming into his rookie season. Yeah, I think he's gonna be okay, but he's definitely not gonna be on the same level as he's not gonna be a Jaden Daniels. He's not gonna be he's not gonna be a good rookie quarterback. Basically, I'm gonna refer to him as a rookie quarterback because this is his second year, but it definitely his first because he got injured in the preseason last year. But I mean, yeah, he's not gonna be able to read these high-level NFL defenses, the Steelers, the Lions, the Commanders, the Eagles. The Eagles have an elite defense. I don't think he's gonna be able to read that at all, and he's just gonna get pummeled to the ground by them. We haven't seen how he performs under pressure. We haven't seen how he performs reading defenses, and other than college and other than the preseason, in which the preseason, the defense and just the games aren't the same, obviously, as in the actual games themselves. That's why I got them 9-8. I got them at a winning record because I think Kevin O'Connell is a good coach. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL. The way he performed with this Vikings offense, I think that he's gonna do well with that. I think he's gonna teach JJ McCarthy at least how to make good throws and get the ball to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. They are gonna be missing Jordan Addison for the first 3 weeks, so that's definitely gonna make a impact, I feel like, to their actual record. But I think Kevin O'Connell's gonna shake him a little bit, say, hey, you need to get the ball to these guys, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, get the ball to these guys and then just let them do their thing. And JJ is going to be like, okay, I understand, let's do this. That's why I got them at 9-8. The defense is obviously still good as well with Andrew Van Ginkel and all those other guys. I just don't think they're going to make the playoffs with that, though, with JJ McCarthy at quarterback and how unproven he is. But we'll see. Maybe he does have an explosive season like Jaden Daniels. We'll see. This is going to be their first season with him, so we can't really make any assumptions until the actual season starts and we see how he plays in week 1. Team in the NFC North, we have got the Green Bay Packers. I got them going 10-7. M5's got them going 9-8. Explain yourself, M5. Why do you got all these good teams from last year having these bad records?
I mean, I don't know. It's just the Packers. We'll see how Matthew Golden, their first round pick, goes, but I feel like that's mainly their thing. Is Jordan Love's, he's a decent quarterback. Is he top 10? No, but is he a good quarterback? Yes. I just think his receiving core has honestly been his main problem. He hasn't had any true number one receivers, I would say. People, in his jokes, people always say, oh, the Packers have a wide receiver 2 room, where every receiver is a number 2 receiver. We'll see how Matthew Golden is. If he's decent, they can easily win another couple games. But I just think also with the schedule, they have some decent teams. Obviously they play the Eagles again, which I don't think they're going to win the rematch. Ravens, I don't see them winning that game, but just overall, I see them winning good few games, maybe getting a couple upsets here and there, but just overall, the defense is decent, but I feel like they still need 1 or 2 pieces, and that's why I have them going 9-8, and they're going to be second in the division.
So here's the thing with the Packers. It's that, they're so inconsistent. It feels like they're consistent at being inconsistent in my mind. It feels like they've been on a playoff run kinda in these past couple of years where they just make it consistently. But then there's years like 2022, I believe, where they didn't make it, and I don't know, the Packers, they're just one of these teams, man. I think they're gonna get I think they're kind of like the Steelers, where they don't really have a good roster, it feels like, but they just have that tendency to go 10-7 or 11-6 or something to make the playoffs usually. Like, they got like Matt LaFleur at head coach, and like I just feel like he's got like that kind of thing. He's got like that Mike Tomlin energy, where he just gets his team to the playoffs like every single year pretty much, and I think that's going to be the same way here. I don't think that the Packers are going to be good next year. Like, I don't think they're going to be a real threat. I just think they're going to get wins, which at the end of the day, that's all that matters when you're an NFL team and you're going for the playoffs. But, I mean, yeah, like 10-7 for the Packers, I think just sounds correct. Like, even with some upsets and stuff by the Bears, like with Caleb Williams and stuff pulling through again and getting another win against them, breaking the streak and like kind of ending this like this long journey for the Packers beating the Bears. But I mean, yeah, like I got 10-7. I don't think the Vikings are gonna have anything to play for in Week 18, giving them that final win at 9-7 to get them to 10-7. But yeah, Green Bay, I think they're just gonna be one of those teams, man. One of those teams. Jordan Love, like as said, Jordan Love isn't good, but he's not bad either. He's just kind of the most mid QB in the league. 10-7. 10-5, got him at
9-8.
Ending off the NFC North, we have got, y'all saw it coming, the Detroit Lions. I got them at 13-4. M5's got them at 12-5, leading the division for both of us because obviously, I mean, we've seen the roster for them. We've seen how they did last year. I think they're gonna have that same momentum coming into this season. M5, explain yourself.
I mean, I just think, the Lions roster is amazing. I mean, they have all the talent on both sides of the ball. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson is coming back from injury. That's going to be a huge part for their defense. I mean, obviously, Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, and David Montgomery as the Sonic and Knuckles duo. I see him winning a lot of games. I see him, I say by, like, the end of the season, and they're going to, like, I would say stop, like, by the last 2 weeks to make sure they're not injured, because that was the main problem last year, was they got injured, and that's what caused them to, lose against the Commanders, because their defense was backups and dirt stringers. But if they stay healthy, easily could go to the Super Bowl, honestly. That's how I feel. They could easily go if they stay healthy throughout the season and the playoffs.
Yeah, honestly, what I think the Lions is, they're gonna have, like, they got, what's his name? What's his name? I'm blanking. That Dan Campbell? Dan Campbell, right? Yeah. They got Dan Campbell at head coach. I mean, we've seen how he's got that dog in him, so to speak. Like, he takes this game seriously. He takes his boys seriously. Jared Goff, like, I think he's just in the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, honestly. We're gonna see how he does coming off of last season, and especially that loss. Like, obviously he's had interception issues as well, just like Baker Mayfield. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. They got their offensive line, Penei Sewell on there. Aiden Hutchinson coming off of injury, off of a broken leg, I believe it was last year.
Pretty much.
It looked like he was like doing good on the sideline in the Hall of Fame game, in our reaction to that. I think he's gonna be good. I don't know if he's gonna have that same explosiveness, just like other players coming off of the injuries, like Nick Chubb especially. But I think the Lions are gonna be good. We're gonna see how they treat the loss of Ben Johnson, but it's not looking to be too terrible. I think. I just think Dan Campbell is gonna go. Like, he's gonna be hungry for like a hard playoff run this year, just like 2023. I feel like, and they're gonna go crazy this year. Obviously leading the division, especially with that roster. That roster is always scary. But Lions. I got them going 13-4. I probably got them 12-5 in the division in the playoffs.
Yep.
best divisions, honestly, arguably the best division in football. We have got the NFC East, with starting off with the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants. I had them going 4-13, being some absolute trash this year, being horrible. F5 had them going 6-11. F5, let's start with you. Why did you think that the Giants were going to be good this year compared to my team? Or not like good, but like better than like what I had.
Like a really, I think the main reason I have them going with 6 wins, maybe even potentially 7, I'm just gonna stick with 6, is because they have talent on both sides of the field, like in certain aspects. Like Malik Nabers is a good wide receiver. Russell Wilson, from what I've seen in preseason, looks like he might still have at least a little bit left in the tank. Jackson Dart looks decent if they decide they want to start him later in the year. Even Jameis Winston is just Jameis Winston. He's gonna upset a team like he always does randomly for 1 week. Whenever he starts. And I just like on defense, like Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau. I think like they have some talent. I just think with their kind of schedule and just overall, talent, they are lacking in good few aspects. I think they're gonna win a few games, make a couple upsets, but in the end, I feel like most of the games they're gonna end up losing due to one reason or another.
Yeah, so here's my reasoning for the Giants being so terrible this coming year. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see them making those upsets like M5 does. I think they win over the bad teams, like the worst teams than them, and like that's it. Like I got them winning over the Saints, I got them winning over the Patriots, I got them winning over the Raiders. The only upset I have them getting is one over the 49ers in week 9. That's going to be awesome for them. But I think Russell Wilson, they're going to start him these first 4 weeks. It's going to go terribly like it did in Pittsburgh at the end of the season. Russell Wilson not being very good at all. And then they're going to get that win over the Saints, maybe start Jameis Winston, but I think that the might of the Eagles, especially in those 2 games, and the Broncos defense is going to be, like we saw what happened with Jameis Winston and the Broncos last year. It's not going to go very well. They're going to see that. They're going to go, it's like they're going to play Jameis Winston maybe for the 49ers game, maybe giving them that upset. Then they're going to go, I don't know if we want Jameis Winston to play. They might start Jackson Dart at that point. Jackson Dart's improving, obviously. We saw how he did this preseason. It was okay. I don't think he got what it takes personally, but that might just be me hating. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Jackson Dart personally, but I think they're just gonna get the wins over the bad teams. Like you said, they got Dexter Lawrence. He's good. They got Malik Nabers. He's amazing. But I think that quarterback, it pulls everything together. I don't think Russell Wilson, Jameis, and Jackson are going to be able to do that. Tyron Tracy, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's injured or what. If they have to start Cam Scatterbo, but Cam Scatterbo is injured as well. But he was good in college last year at Arizona State. We'll see how that goes. If he can come off his injury and start doing good, if they decide to start him. But I don't know. I don't think the Giants got what it takes, especially with Brian Dable at head coach. I don't know. I don't like to think that he's a very good coach. I don't think he's got what it takes personally. I don't know. I just don't think the Giants. I don't think it's the Giants' year. I think they got to get one more good draft pick, get another quarterback if Jackson doesn't pan out well. Because the quarterback class this year, I don't think was very good. I think they need to get one more, or like even a defensive guy, somebody to create pressure for the other teams in the NFC East, especially with the Eagles and the Panthers and the Cowboys. Yeah, 4-13 Giants. I think it's their year. I've got to go to 6-11. Second team in the NFC East, we got this is our year people themselves, the Dallas Cowboys. I had them going 7-10, being absolutely terrible this year. M5, you had them going
9-8.
9-8. F5, why do you have them going better than me? Why do you have them in?
I mean, I just feel like obviously the offense has talent. Dak is a good quarterback despite everything. He is a good quarterback. There's a reason a lot of the Cowboys pay him like they do because he is good. CeeDee Lamb's good. The running backs is going to be we'll see how they do. It might be a potential issue there, but I think they have a chance to be decent. They have talent. They obviously will see what happens with Micah Parsons, but they still have some levels on defense and stuff that even if he does get traded, they could still, I'd say, be decent. Obviously, against certain teams, more real teams and stuff, I feel like they're gonna fall. I feel like Dak always has that, where against really good teams, he's gonna have a bad game, or he's gonna just have a random week where he loses to a bad team. But I think they're gonna still be decent enough. I don't know about playoffs, but at least I said they have a winning record. I mean, obviously the new coach as well. But just overall, I think they have enough talent to at least be able to get a 9-8 record.
Yeah, so my thing with the Cowboys is they're in a stacked division. NFC East, obviously one of the best divisions of football. I think they're going to get swept by the Eagles, swept by the Commanders easily. I think the Cowboys might put up a little bit of a fight, but I think the might of both of those teams, especially Jaden Daniels, with that, if Micah Parsons does get traded, then I think the might of Jaden Daniels, his scrambling ability and how he does without pressure in his face, I think that's going to be, an easy win for them, honestly. I mean, I just don't think the Cowboys have what it takes this year. I think they need one more draft pick, one more year to rebuild a little bit. Get a running back, get another wide receiver for the matter. Honestly, the only wide receiver I think that's gonna make an impact on there is CeeDee Lamb, and we're gonna see how Dak Prescott also does off of his injury that ended his season last year, which is it's just such a what if, I feel for the Cowboys this year. I don't think they have what it takes going 7-10, getting themselves that good draft pick, getting themselves what they need for next year. And honestly, we'll see how the coaching change goes as well with Mike McDaniel. Or no, not Mike McDaniel, that's the Dolphins coach. Mike McCarthy getting fired last year. We'll just see how it goes for this Dallas team. I don't think they have what it takes. They're just kind of a laughing stock of the NFL as of now. I think it's going to continue to be like that after this year. With the third team in the NFC East, a dark horse of last year, actually, we have got the Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, Washington football team. I got them going 11-6, making the playoffs once again. M5 has them going 11-6 as well. So again, another same opinion kind of deal. It's crazy how for all of these teams, our opinions have stayed pretty much the same, except for some teams like the Cowboys and the Seahawks and stuff. But we got the Commanders. I think they're gonna be very good this year. M5, take it away for our final. Second and final team of the NFC.
Just the Commanders. If Jaden Daniels can keep this momentum from last season, he can easily do what he did again and have a really good year. But there is some questions. Obviously, they lost their running back to a trade. Terry McLaurin's clearly having issues, and who knows what's going to happen with him. Maybe he gets traded out of the team, which would make Deebo Samuel the main wide receiver, and we'll see how that works. He didn't play, obviously, much this preseason, so I really can't get a gauge of how he will be.
I mean, I still see them winning quite a few games, especially with their, I would say, mostly easy start, like first 4 weeks of the year. With like Giants, Raiders, Falcons, Packers, I could see them realistically winning all of those games. Um, but I just think maybe like more towards the middle of the season is when they hit the harder teams like the Chiefs, the Lions, even like the Seahawks. I think can give them trouble. But overall, I think if Daniels can keep his momentum, he can easily make the playoffs again. Take it away, Fana.
Honestly, I agree with everything you said. The main question this year, I feel like, is Jaden Daniels going to be the one out of all the quarterbacks drafted last year to have the sophomore slump? And honestly, I don't think it's going to be that way. I think he's got that aura to him. He's got that, like, he's calm, collected. He like moves through the season so easily, so fluidly last year. To get even to get into the NFC Championship last year, like that's an insane feat as a rookie quarterback on a 4-win team just the year prior. The real question is I don't have any concern for Jaden Daniels at the moment. Especially with how he performed in the preseason. Then again, he did do it against the Bengals defense, but he did run. He did do well against the Bengals defense in the second game that he played. I think the main question is definitely Terry McLaurin and Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson was traded, obviously. We're going to see how the running backs and Austin Eckler and old Austin Eckler is going to do as the main running back now. Terry McLaurin, I don't have much concern for him at the moment. I think the Commanders organization, I think they're going to get that done. They're just waiting a little bit for some reason. Unless they tag him, I could see that happening. Or, I don't know, they could pay him, they could tag him, they could do whatever they want with him. I don't know how many teams actually want him. Maybe the Giants or something, or not the Panthers, because they already have their wide receivers now. But, I don't know if there's much interest for him. I think Terry McLaurin is going to be Jaden Daniels' main guy still for these years to come. I don't have much, worry for them. I have them upsetting a couple teams like the Lions again. I have them splitting with the Eagles just like last year. I had them sweeping the Cowboys. I don't think there's just much concern, honestly. I think they're going to do very well this year. I think they're going to have it pretty easy. Ending off the NFC East and the NFC as a whole, we have got the 2-time Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, coming off of an amazing year last year, obviously winning the Super Bowl, getting Saquon Barkley last year. Saquon Barkley's now, he's the guy, 100%. They just have a stacked roster. Jalen Hurts, their amazing offensive line, their amazing defense. We'll talk about what happened with that here soon. At 5, had them going 12-5, and a really, really hard hot take from me. I had them going 15-2 with that amazing roster. We'll go F5 first, and then I'll save you my explanation here soon.
Alright. Well, the reason I have them at 12-5 is mainly the fact that I think the defense lost a good bit of pieces through the offseason this year. And I feel like that's not going to affect them too much, but it's going to affect them enough where some of these games against I'd say good to better opponents could be tricky. I do have them having the Giants get a random upset, because honestly the Giants usually at least once every 2 to 3 years end up getting a random upset against the Eagles, and I feel like that will happen. But overall, I mean, this team is really good. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. Saquon is an amazing running back. They got good receivers. The offense isn't really gonna be the problem. I think it's mainly just gonna be the defense with the pieces they lost. Yes, I mean, obviously we'll see how the guys they draft do. We'll see how most of the guys returning do, but overall, I feel like that's the main reason I have them going 12-5 is I think because they lost little chunk of their defense that might like make them falter and lose a couple games. Then maybe if they had everybody, they probably would have won.
So on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we've got the Eagles going 15-2 from me. I got them sweeping the Cowboys, splitting with the Commanders, as previously mentioned, sweeping the Giants, sweeping all of the NFC North, actually, with how stacked that roster is. So, talking about the defense again, they did lose a couple people, but I think what they lost, it wasn't too much. They still got Lane Johnson, if I remember correctly. He's elite. They still got Cooper DeJean. They still got, I forgot who that other cornerback was, or safety, or whoever that was really good. But, I just think the Eagles roster is so good, and just per tradition, the Buccaneers is going to be one of their losses, and then with how Jay Daniels performs, I think that they'll split with them. I think they even win over the Bills with, how their offense is. I don't think that James Cook and Josh Allen's going to be able to get the ball moving with their receivers in that stacked defense. This is I'm not an Eagles fan by any means, but you gotta admire the talent in front of you in my eyes with Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts even. I think he's gonna step into the season, maybe have his first 3,000 passing yards career. His first career 3,000 passing yards season. I think he's gonna be hungry for it. I think Nick Sirianni is gonna be pretty good with them, coaching them as per usual. They're the Super Bowl champions. You can't have them coming last in the division. But yeah, I think they get the 1 seed easily out of the NFC. I think they're just so stacked, man. You gotta admire the talent on this team. One of the most complete rosters in the NFL, easily. Kicking off the AFC with the AFC West, we have got the Las Vegas Raiders. This team, I do not think they're going to be good at all this year. I got them going 4-13. M5's got them going
8-9.
8-9. Oh, God. So, let me explain my reasoning as to why I think they're going to be so terrible this year. They gotta play the Patriots. The Patriots have vastly improved this year in Week 1. I think they're gonna lose that. The Chargers, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose to the Commanders. They're gonna lose to the Bears. They're gonna get a win over the Colts, but then lose to Cam Ward and the Titans. Get swept by the Chiefs easily. They're gonna lose to the Eagles, obviously. Lose to the entire NFC West. NFC East. Actually, I think they're gonna have a couple upset wins, a win over the Broncos, win over the Chargers. But I think that's all they got. They're gonna have the wins over the two bad teams in the Colts and the Browns on their schedule. But I think the rest of the team, the bad teams and the teams on there, just have way better rosters and just have what it takes over the Raiders. Talking about Ashton Genty and Geno Smith and Max Crosby. Max Crosby is going to be the only good thing on that defense. He's going to try, but obviously we know that's going to turn out for him. Geno Smith, I don't know. He probably still has somewhat to the tank, but I don't know behind the Raiders' offensive line, and especially throwing to his receivers, who, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know who they've got. Who did they, do they even have anybody? He's got Brock Bowers, but he's a tight end.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alright. Guess it's my turn now.
I'm going to be honest, 4-13. It's Raiders. They got, what's his name, from the Seahawks in that one, who didn't run the ball at the one, I forgot his name.
Pete Carroll?
Yeah, they got Pete Carroll. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Ashton Genty's going to be a bust. I'm going to say it here first, folks. Ashton Genty's going to be a bust.
Alright, well, I think that the Raiders, with how they are, I think they can win a few games. I mean, I have even winning week 1 before hitting a losing streak. But even like certain games like Cam Ward, I think they can beat them. Like Geno Smith he got a revival with Seattle. I don't think he's that bad of a quarterback. Pete Carroll, he's played with him before, so I think that familiarity is gonna help him win a few games. I have him winning week 18 against the Chiefs because I think by that point the Chiefs are just gonna throw in backups, and I already think the Raiders will probably be eliminated, so they're just gonna win it for like momentum. I think like Jacoby Myers is like their main receiver. I think he's gonna be decent. I think Ashton Genty, he's gonna have a good season. I wouldn't say he's gonna freaking put up like Saquon numbers, but I think he's gonna have like 1,100 yards, maybe even just 1,000 or something. Quite a few touchdowns, I believe. And I just think like with their defense, like obviously besides Max Crosby, they do have quite a few holes there that they didn't address too much. So I feel like that's going to be like their main factor into why maybe they're not a playoff team. But I still think they get a decent amount of wins. I think, maybe they pull up an upset against the Broncos and like the Chargers and stuff. But overall, I think 8-9 is what I think is a realistic record for them.
I mean, we'll see. I'm gonna say this right now. I don't hate the Raiders. I actually really like them. I think they're an underdog team. I really do want to see them succeed, but I just don't think it's their year. You heard it here first. Raiders 4-13 for me. 5 Raiders
8-9.
Second team of the AFC, we have got the Denver Broncos. Broncos country, let's ride. We have both got them coming in at 10-7. I'm gonna be honest, like I think that's just the perfect round for the Broncos. Like I could see that happening fully. Like we got Bo Nix, obviously, Cortland Sutton, Patrick Surtain the second. We got they got J.K. Dobbins in free agency. They got as a backup, I know that. They got they just got a good roster. Their defense is great. They got Marvin Mims. He was pretty good last year. Yeah, I just think not really much to talk about, honestly. The Broncos are just a good team now, especially with Bo Nix at quarterback, and I think they might sneak into the playoffs depending on how we think the Chargers are. So yeah, playoff team, Denver Broncos. 5.
I mean, I do agree. With that kind of record, I mean, their schedule, especially to start the year, isn't too difficult. I could definitely see them starting out 3-0 potentially, and just having a little bit of a slump more halfway through, because that's when they're gonna. I feel like later on in the season they're gonna have a few tough games. Obviously they're gonna have the Chiefs. They're gonna have the Commanders, the Packers, and just teams I think they could potentially. It all depends on. I mean, Bo Nix is pretty good with Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims, who are both good receivers. I think they have the defense is good. We'll see how the rookie corner that they drafted in the first round. We'll see how he does with Pat Surtain as a duo. We'll see maybe because if he's anything if he's good, then yeah, they could potentially maybe win another 1 or 2 games, but. Overall, I think that this team is decent, but maybe they have a couple holes. I wouldn't say their running back is super strong. J.K. Dobbins is not bad, and overall, I just think they're missing maybe 1 or 2 pieces before they become a 12-13 win team. But obviously, we'll see how it goes. I got them at 10-7. Fun's got them at 10-7. Potentially the 7th seed, we'll see.
Good team. I got something special. our third team in the AFC West, in the AFC. We got the Los Angeles Chargers. I had them going 8-9. Really, really hot take there. M5 had them going 10-7. Actually being a playoff team with them sweeping the Broncos in his predictions. Honestly, they lost. So the main reason that I think that the Chargers are going to go 8-9 is because, for one, Justin Herbert, I think that game against the Texans probably really affected him in his playmaking ability. I don't think that's going to be as explosive as it was last year. And I think the loss of J.K. Dobbins and Vlad McConkey being the wide receiver 1 for them, I just don't think that's going to be very desirable at all and good for them at all. There's also the loss of that one. Was it an offensive lineman or defensive lineman? I don't know. They lost that guy due to injury this offseason. And apparently he's very good, so that's really going to affect the roster and just how they perform this year. I think that's just how it's going to go. The Chargers, I just don't think they have it. Jim Harbaugh, he's a good coach, I feel like. I don't know. He's going to be able to fix this roster this year. In terms of defense, I don't think it's going to be as good as it was last year.
Meanwhile, for me, I think with the offensive wise, Herbert's going to be good. I think Omarion Hampton is going to help this backfield, and especially because we still kind of don't know what's up with Najee Harris. Seems like he's training, but obviously we'll tell. But I feel like, if anything, Omarion Hampton can step up and be a decent running back. I think Keenan Allen giving Justin Herbert another receiver, that's going to at least help him. And obviously Keenan Allen is familiar with the Chargers because he's been with them for so many years now. He left for a season or two, but now he's back. And him and Vlad McConkey it's going to be, I think, a decent wide receiver duo. Defensive wise, they have some people. I think they'll be at least decent on defense. Maybe not like how they were last year, but I think they still have enough talent, enough playmaking where they could keep the record. I do think that against the Broncos, I feel like they have a good chance of beating them, even I have them and everything. So we'll see. 10-7. I think I probably have them winning over Denver in a tiebreaker, but I can easily see 1 or 2 losses to certain teams. I actually do have them beating the Chiefs in 1 week, which I know never happens, but I feel like Herbert is just gonna somehow beat that Chiefs BS and at least win 1 game.
I got him missing the playoffs. Everybody's got him making the playoffs. With our final team in the AFC West, you all saw it coming. We have got the Kansas City Chiefs. I have them winning 14 games, going 14. 5 has them winning 13 games.
13 games.
Well, what can I even say about this team anymore? That's not already been said. They have Patrick Mahomes, who is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Travis Kelce, who is one of the best tight ends in the league. Isaiah Pacheco, Chris Jones, Rasheed Rice, Xavier Williams. I really don't want to talk about this team. The refs are going to go crazy this season. They're going to go crazy. They're going to win so many games. They're going to get 14 wins. They're going to look like a golden child. They're going to make the playoffs. They're gonna make it as the 1 seed in my playoff picture. M5 has going as like the 2nd or 3rd seed. Just I don't want to talk too negative.
Alright. Well, yeah, it's not too much to talk about with the Chiefs. I mean, I really only have them losing to like the first half of the season to like real contenders. I do have them beating the Lions, which I could see a world where the Lions beat them, but I just feel like that type of game, either Goff's gonna throw 2 picks and sell, or the refs are gonna just make a bad call late in the game that either helps the Chiefs in some way, either if it hinders the Lions from a game-winning drive or helps the Chiefs get a game-winning drive. The Bills usually beat them in the regular season, so I see that. I do think the Eagles just has enough talent to be able to go through the Chiefs and at least let their first loss be early in the season, but like even like the Ravens, I feel like will still fall to them. It's just not much to say. I mean, like the offense is really good. Mahomes is gonna have another good season. Pacheco's gonna be a decent running back. Worthy and Rashee Rice are going to be decent receivers. Travis Kelce, I mean, he's a little washed, but he's still going to get the job done. And overall, even on defense, they still have some good players. They're overall just going to be a really good team. I do think, though, I know most people's like, I do think when it comes to the playoffs, though, they're not going to make it again to the Super Bowl, but they definitely have the chance to.
I hate the Chiefs! Alright, kicking off one of the other better divisions in the NFL, we have got the AFC North, starting with one of the worst teams in the NFL, in NFL history, honestly. We have the Cleveland Browns, which, God, we both have agreed on them going 5. They are going to be, they didn't fix much. I mean, like, the Browns are the Browns. They're a poverty franchise, even more poverty than the Bengals. I mean, I do think they're going to win week 1 because we've seen how the Bengals perform in week 1. But after that, they're going to go on a 4-game losing streak. They're going to win over the Pittsburgh Steelers in an upset because the Browns just tend to do that. Win over the Jets. Win over the Ravens on a little 2-game winning streak. But, like, because, again, we've seen how they perform against these good teams in the AFC North. They end up upsetting them somehow. I don't know what's up with the Browns, but they end up doing that. Then they go on another losing streak, win against the Titans, and then just lose out for the rest of the season.
I mean, mainly what I gotta add is the offense. It's like obviously Flacco is gonna start week 1. And for probably the first few weeks, but in the end, it's the goddamn quarterback carousel. Freaking all their quarterbacks, freaking 6 of them, from Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shador Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Deshaun Watson, and Tyler Huntley. It's a lot of quarterbacks, so I feel like they're gonna somehow shuffle all of them like in, and I feel like none of them are really gonna help much. I do think an upset against the Ravens probably will happen because it's the Browns and they always do that, like Funa said. I think they're gonna win week 18 just because the Bengals will probably have nothing to play for during that week, but most of their wins are against kind of like worser teams or like teams I think they could maybe, like the Dolphins. I feel like could go either way. It just all depends on obviously Tua, but we'll go to that later. But overall, 5-12, they're gonna get a high draft pick, and we'll see how it goes.
I don't know how you can fix this Browns team, honestly. Like, you have a good tight end, David Njoku is good. You have a good receiver, Jerry Jeudy is really good. You have one of the best defensive players in the NFL in Myles Garrett, and like you just don't win games for some reason. It doesn't make any sense to me how the Browns are this bad. It's gotta be because of the quarterback. Like, I can't give any other reason. The Browns 5-12, they just have the first two, I guess. Alright, the second team in the AFC North, arguably one of the teams with the most rich history in the NFL. We have got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that they're going to be terrible this year. That is a very hot take, I feel like, especially considering Mike Tomlin. I have them getting only 6 wins in this stacked AFC North, going on a hard losing streak in starting from week 4 to week 8. I have them winning games against the bad teams like the Jets, the Patriots, the Colts, but like even an upset win over the Bengals, even an upset win over the Bears. But I don't think they're going to be good enough. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has what it takes. I think the loss of Minka Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins is going to be an impact on that offense. Like, the offense is going to be a very, very, very bad. Like, it's going to be the opposite of the Bengals, where they're going to have a bad offense, but a good, like an amazing defense. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, they got, Jonnu Smith was? Or no.
Yeah, they do.
They did. They got Jonnu Smith?
Yeah, they did.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I knew they got Jonnu Smith and who was the really good, the cornerback or whatever?
The corner. Well, they got, I'll just butt in real quick. But they got the trade with Jalen Ramsey for Minka Fitzpatrick and Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, it was Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. Yeah, like, I think that did really beef up the defense, and I think it's going to be very good this year. I don't see Aaron Rodgers winning more than 6 games, even getting into the playoffs. I think Mike Tomlin, I don't know. Mike Tomlin, I just don't know. I don't think he's gonna have what it takes to get another winning record to keep that streak going.
I mean, the main reason I have him at 10 wins and probably a wild card is mainly Mike Tomlin. He doesn't lose. He doesn't get a losing season. He literally one year had Doug Hodges and as a quarterback, and he still didn't get a losing season. I think he can get at least 9-8 out of Aaron Rodgers. Their schedule isn't too difficult. I mean, obviously, they have some good teams. They're probably gonna split with the Bengals, but teams like the Bills, Ravens, and like Lions, I don't see them winning. Even though the Steelers usually kind of BS their way against the Ravens, but we'll see. But overall, I just think where Fona has that losing streak from. I'm gonna say they're gonna have a winning streak because I see them. I feel like with DK Metcalf, he's gonna be good enough to help Aaron Rodgers. I mean, yeah, they lost Pickens, but Metcalf is a good kind of replacement. Obviously, we'll see what Jalen Warren does at running back. I think he's decent. I think he'll have a decent year, overall. And I just think because just kind of how Mike Tomlin is, he's just gonna kind of pull a 9 or 10 win season out of his ass and either make the playoffs or just miss it.
I don't know. We'll see. Aaron Rodgers is a very constant quarterback. I got the Steelers going 6-11, and 5 got them going 10-7. Alright, with our third team in the AFC North, we have got my favorite team, the Cincinnati Bengals. I didn't go too biased here. This is depending on if the defense is top 20 in the league. If the defense is top 20 in the league with Al Golden, then we will officially go 11-6 at best, 12-5 at best, but 11-6 is what I would assume. M5 agrees with me. He chose 11-6 as well. So what I got going here is I got them losing week 1 to the Browns, but they end up picking up enough meaningful wins against some other teams in order to come back from that loss in week 1. So we obviously know how week 1 has been for the Bengals these past many years. It is not good at all for the Bengals. The Bengals always end up losing in week 1. I don't think it'll be any different this year. They'll lose to the Cleveland Browns in week 1. They'll pick up a win in week 2 against the Jaguars, lose against the Vikings due to that stacked roster, win against the Broncos because of what they did last year against the Broncos. I believe that they can win again over them. They're going to lose against the Lions, lose against the Packers, but they're going on a 3-game winning streak against the Steelers, Jets, and Bears. They're going to lose to the Steelers, split with them. They're going to win against the Patriots. And here's my hot takes. I think they're going to split with the Ravens and win against the Buffalo Bills in week 14 because of Joe. It's definitely going to be an insane game, 100%. But I think Joe Burrow has what it takes. I think he's going to pull through, win against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. And then once that loss against the Ravens is over, they're going to win against the Dolphins, win against the Cardinals, win against the Browns, and get a playoff spot. And just we'll see where it goes from there.
I mean, I agree. I mean, obviously, the whole point is, honestly, the offense is really good. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown, the main difference is I have them starting off going 3-0. I think they can beat the Browns. I mean, Joe Burrow's at least been playing this preseason, which hopefully I think will at least help. I mean, the whole offense has, so I think maybe that helps them get over the usual slump they have during week 1. And I think I do have them going week 4 and 5, sadly losing, but I think overall, with most of these games, I feel like they're always going to have a chance. It's just really all depends on the defense, which I think it won't be the worst. It's not going to be the best defense, but I think they're going to do enough to help the team make the playoffs. They have some people. I mean, we'll see with Trey Hendrickson. We'll see if seems like he's in talks and he might get a contract. Cam Taylor-Britt is literally the definition of hot and cold. He's going to be the best corner one week and the worst corner the next week. So we'll see how that works. And the rest of the team, with Shamar Stewart, we'll see how he does. And overall, I think they have the ability to go to the playoffs.
I think the main issue that we need to talk about is creating pressure on the quarterbacks, especially with all these AFC teams and their good quarterbacks. 100%, the main focus, I think, can be creating turnovers in big moments, getting stops, creating pressure. That's all that you need from a defense. And I'm hoping that Al Golden, our new defensive coordinator, is going to be able to do that. One thing of note is that I do firmly believe if the Bengals either lose week 1 and don't make the playoffs, or just don't make the playoffs in general, Zach Taylor is for sure getting fired, and we're going to have to look for a new head coach with that. Just want to have that up there. Bengals 11-6, making the playoffs after last year. All right, finishing off the AFC North with a very, 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 very good team. We have got the Baltimore Ravens. We both agreed on 13-4 for the Ravens. I mean, what is there to really say about the Ravens? I mean, they got Lamar Jackson as quarterback, arguably a top 3 quarterback in the league. They have Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Bateman, Justice Hill. Like just a very good offense. They have on the defense they signed did they trade or sign Jair Alexander? Well, either way, they got Jair Alexander. They got Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins. He looked good last season. Like it's just an elite team. They're gonna get 13 wins, 100%. M5's got them as the second seed over the Kansas City Chiefs due to the tie. Or no, he's got them as the third seed because the Chiefs beat them actually in the tiebreaker. So that's a little playoff picture, sneak peek a little bit. But I mean, what is there to really say? The Ravens are going to lead the division. They're going to give the Bengals and the Steelers and all these other teams some hard trouble this year. Justin Tucker out or suspended, whatever. And I think, was he cut? I think he was cut. Right?
He was, he's out of the team, yeah.
Yeah, he is, they got Tyler Loop now, and that's going to be interesting to watch. Either way, the Ravens are the Ravens. They're gonna be elite this year.
Exactly. I mean, I agree. I mean, the Ravens are just a really good team. I definitely obviously see them going well into the playoffs. What happens in the playoffs, probably more of the same, but that's for a different story. Even with their schedule, I mean, I see them having one or. The main thing is I do see them upsetting the Lions in a similar shootout to what happened last year with Bills versus Lions, where it was just a shootout where the Bills ended up winning. But overall, they're just a really good team. I mean, they're gonna go places in terms of record. I only really see them losing to teams I think they're going to split the Bengals. They're going to get a random loss to the Browns, the Chiefs, and another random loss. But overall, they're a really good team.
One thing to watch this season is the production of Malachi Starks, their first round pick. Their new safety. That's going to be very interesting to watch. We're going to see how good he performs. He's a Georgia player. They make him they make him hard over there at Georgia, man. We're gonna see how he does for the Ravens. God, the Ravens have definitely one of the best defenses in the league, 100%. We're gonna see how this pans out for the Ravens. We got them winning. Doing the AFC South next, we have got the Indianapolis Colts, and God, man, what is there to even say about this team? So unbelievably mid, and with their last pick in, was it 2023 or it was 2023, I think, right? That they chose Anthony Richardson. God, yeah. It has been downhill for this franchise ever since, it feels like. Our predictions, I had them going 6-11, which I'm not gonna lie, I should probably change that before the season begins, but that's what it's gonna be as of now. F5, you had them going 2 wins. Honestly, that's insane. Honestly, that's an even hotter take than mine. So why don't you start us off, M5? Explain 2 wins for the Indianapolis Colts.
The main thing is Daniel Jones got confirmed the starting quarterback for the Colts, and Daniel Jones. I mean, what's to say? I mean, 2022 feels like a fever dream. That was the one season where he was actually a good quarterback. But overall, I mean, with their schedule, I mean, they got a good amount of good opponents to go against. That I just the defense honestly isn't anything to write home about, and the offense is probably going to start being stagnant with him at quarterback, my guess. I mean, for
all I know, he can have a Sam Darnold type season. Like, the offense is there, but I just feel like the defense also isn't there. And mixed with that, I just don't see him winning majority of these games.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, the Colts for me are one of my like one of the teams in the NFL that I have the least experience with. Like, I don't know their roster very well. I know they have Alec Pierce. I know they have Anthony Richardson. They now have Daniel Jones starting, as you just said. And yeah, that's definitely gonna make their record plummet 100%. They went 9-8 last year, I believe, and they missed the playoffs because of that one loss to the Giants.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think it was 8-9 or 7-10, right? Hold on, I'd have to.
It was either 8 or 9 or 9 and
Yeah, I'd have to look back at that. But I mean, definitely, like Daniel Jones, he's not even proven in the slightest. I feel like 2022, obviously, or 2023, whatever you said, was the only year that he had a somewhat decent year for himself. Last year was terrible. I mean, you gotta let him go. I feel like starting Daniel Jones over Anthony Richardson is insane to me. I still can't believe that they did that, and that the fact that it's only like not gonna be for week 1. It's for the rest of the season next year. Like that's terrible, man. Unless they sign some other quarterback to come in in place of him, then I can only see them winning 6 games at the most. Honestly, maybe 7. But I mean, Alec Pierce is good. Michael Pittman's. I haven't seen him. I didn't hear anything about him last season. We're going to see how Tyler Warren does. We're going to see Jonathan Taylor should still be good. They lost Dalton Reisner to the Bengals in the offseason. We'll see how their offensive line is next season. Defense is so unbelievable. The Colts in general have got to be one of the most mid teams in the league. I feel like there's definitely competition for that with the Cardinals and stuff, but the Colts, man, Indianapolis Colts, I can't see anything more than 6 wins, honestly. 6 wins for the Indianapolis Colts. With the next team in the AFC South, you know what I kind of like? It's the fact that I'm announcing these draft picks with the next team in the AFC South. But yeah, with the next team in the AFC South, we've got the Tennessee Titans, the first overall pick holders from this last draft. Speaking of that, I had them going 6 wins again, just like the Colts. The M5 had them going 5 wins. That actually puts them in 3rd, I think, in the AFC South for you, which is interesting, especially considering his take with the Colts. But, I mean, take it away, M5. Go for it. Jump the gun, man.
I mean, obviously, the main thing about it is Cam Ward. We have to, obviously, the number 1 overall pick, we have to see. He has some weapons. I mean, they got the Tyler Lockett, even at his old age, he's still a pretty decent wide receiver. They did lose a few people on the offense, and their defense is alright. They got maybe 1 or 2 guys, but nothing to write home about. And then with the schedule wise, I mean, they're gonna have some teams they're gonna face teams like the Chiefs and the Texans, and I just don't see them winning those games. I just don't see Cam Ward pulling a goddamn masterclass. I mean, I see him maybe getting 1 or 2 upsets potentially, but besides that, I think it's gonna be he's gonna have an alright year for year 1.
Yeah, so my thing with the Titans is definitely Cam Ward. He's an unproven. So I think there's also this curse with the first overall pick the first overall pick curse, I kind of call it. So, we've seen how quarterbacks that are the first overall pick, they barely, I feel like they rarely turn out to be a franchise quarterback or a good quarterback. I mean, the few exceptions I feel were Andrew Luck, and even then, I don't think he did very good in his career. I have to look more into that. But, and Joe Burrow. Like, I mean, Caleb Williams, especially in his first year last year, like, we saw how he did behind that Bears offensive line. And with all the weapons that the Bears were trying to give to him, like, we saw how that went. And, like, just, he didn't do too good. The punter had more yards than him, obviously. I think that'll be the same case with Cam Ward. I think it's going to be like a rough first season for him, especially with what he was doing at Miami. He took like this approach every single game where he was trying to be like nonchalant. I know there were all the memes about that, where he was just trying to stay like calm and collected and just like cool under like in his pocket and stuff, in his pocket, like his quarterback pocket. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that in the NFL, especially behind that offensive line that the Titans have given him. He says that he's got a top 5 wide receiver room in the NFL. That's just not true. He's got Tyler Lockett, Calvin Ridley, and like that's it. Chigo Okonkwo, I guess. But obviously those aren't like franchise guys, I feel like. And they're definitely going to have to improve on that position soon, especially with the balls that Cam Ward is going to be throwing them. Tony Pollard, he's okay. And then I don't think there's like anybody notable on the defense. I feel like it's just, I mean, the Titans. I don't see them coming in last on like the Indianapolis Colts are gonna be this season. Even though the Colts probably have the better team, but I don't know. We're gonna maybe Cam Ward has a Jaden Daniels type season. We'll see how that goes. Like, I highly doubt it, but who knows? Maybe he could prove me wrong. Prove me and M5 wrong. 6 wins for the Tennessee Titans for me. 5 wins for M5. With our third team in the AFC South, we are going to have some very differing opinions here. We have got the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm not going to lie, I think they're going to do pretty bad this year. While M5 thinks they're going to do actually pretty good this year, I had the Jaguars going 5-12 and being pretty bad despite getting Travis Hunter and stuff and having they have a good roster. It's just that I feel like they can't do it. You know, it's kind of like the Giants, where on paper it's good, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it. M5, you got them going 10-7 and actually being a potential like wild card team. Like, that's kind of crazy. You wanna go with that? You wanna let's go? Come on, let's tussle.
All right. So I think Travis Hunter's definitely gonna help both obviously the offense and defense. We'll see how he does, but I think he should help. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. It's just the team around him isn't the best. We always saw that last year. I mean, then he got injured too, but I think he'll have like a bounce back, maybe similar to something like 2022. They have a good, like, on paper, their roster, like, their offense is pretty decent. Their defense has some names on it, and I do think with their schedule-wise, their first half of the year is going to be rough. I mean, the Bengals, Texans, Chiefs, not like Rams, like it's hard to see them winning a lot of those games. But I think they're after week 10, like all those games after week 10, completely winnable in my eyes. I think they could beat teams like I have them winning out. I just think they could realistically beat all of these teams. The Chargers and the Cardinals and the Broncos are honestly only the 3 hard teams where I can maybe see them taking an L. But honestly, besides that, every other game I could see them winning, and that's why I say they're gonna be a sleeper team. I'm thinking maybe I have to see how the playoff picture looks, but I'm thinking like maybe the 6th seed or something, and trying a wild card game.
Yeah, so my reasoning for the Jaguars being so bad and actually getting like another high pick in the draft next year is they got to play Bryce Young week 1. I think he's going to have that flow through him coming in from week 18, that Falcons overtime win. Got to play the Bengals next in week 2. I just don't think they're going to win that. especially with how the Bengals are, like, they could lose week 1, but I definitely don't see them losing week 2 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got to go against the Texans, got to go against the 49ers, the Chiefs in that hard stretch. So I have them going 0-4 to begin the year. They pick up an upset win over the Seahawks, but they don't do it against the Rams. They go on a 2-game streak with the Raiders and another upset win over the Texans. But I think they lose to the Chargers. I think they pull off one last upset against the Cardinals, but then they lose to the Titans in an upset win for the Titans. They win over the Colts for their final win of the year, and then they lose to a Justin Fields Jets. They lose to a good Broncos team. They lose to a Colts in one of their few wins, and they lose to the Titans to maybe tank for a better draft pick. If I've talked about the roster, Trevor Lawrence is still somewhat unproven, I feel like, to me. He's, like, not good, but, like, he's not the first round number 1 draft pick that he was supposed to be in my eyes. But, then again, yeah, the roster around him isn't very good. The offensive line isn't too good. They got Brian Thomas Jr. last year. They lost Evan Ingram in the offseason. I don't know if they have Travis Etienne still. I think they do.
They do.
We're gonna see how Travis Hunter performs. I don't know. It's an okay roster, but I don't think it's a playoff roster yet. I think they need one more piece there, like a good defensive, maybe a safety or something, or a cornerback other than Travis Hunter. We're gonna see how he does under that, obviously. And more help in the offensive line. One thing I will say, I do think Liam Cohen, we're going to see how that goes. Him rising from the Buccaneers offensive coordinator, obviously, to the head coach of the Jaguars. We're going to see how that goes. We're going to see if he's going to be able to be like Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson is going to be the exact same way for him this season. But like Todd Bowles or something, he used to be a defensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach of the Buccaneers. We're going to see if Liam Cohen can do that, lead him to the playoffs these next couple of years, and we'll see how his coaching journey goes and how the Jaguars are going to do these next couple of years. I don't have them making the playoffs anytime soon. Fourth team in the AFC South, you all saw it coming in hot, the Houston Texans. There's going to be a lot of confusion this year, especially with that offensive line. We're going to see how they do. M5 and I have them still winning 11 games and making the playoffs, leading the division. The only difference we had here was that I had them winning over the Broncos, and then he had an upset win over the 49ers. So our opinions aren't going to be very different here, but we'll start with M5 again, as we have been with all of these divisions, it feels like. Go ahead. I'll add on to it here soon, but probably not going to be much to add on from me.
Alright. Well, the Texans, they're still good. They got their pieces. CJ Stroud is becoming a good quarterback. They got Nico Collins, Tank Dell. He is coming back from injury, but he still should be decent. The offensive line, obviously, and also for the first few weeks, they are going to be without Joe Mixon, but they do have Nick Chubb, who, isn't as explosive as he is, but he's still a good enough running back that I feel like it's not going to halter them too much, especially with these first few weeks, where honestly the only team that, like the Rams and the Bucks, I think they can beat the Rams, but I still think the Bucks will give them a challenge. And their defense, they still have their pieces too. They have quite a few, and with their schedule, yes, they have some hard opponents. They do have the Chiefs and the Ravens and the Bills, who are going to be tough. But overall, I think majority of these games they're going to win.
I could see maybe 1 or 2 potential upsets. It obviously all depends on how that offensive line does and if they can protect CJ Stroud. Overall, 11 wins, winning the division, getting probably the 4th seed again, or probably getting the 4th seed and winning.
I mean, yeah, honestly, the only thing I really have to add on to that is, I mean, Derek Stingley, he's an interesting player to watch, I feel like, this season. Like, I think he has potential to honestly be maybe Defensive Player of the Year. Like, we'll get more into that later with our award predictions and stuff. I mean, they lost Stephon Diggs to the Patriots in the offseason, but let's be honest, he was like injured for most of the year. He didn't exactly contribute much, and honestly, he's kind of washed from his Vikings and Bills days. So, I mean, not too much of a loss. Obviously, CJ Stroud still, honestly, I think he's a top 10 quarterback. I mean, that's all to really say. Like, the Texans, they're gonna be good. Their defense is still okay. They're a good team. Like, they've proven many people wrong, especially with like Jaguars lovers and Titans lovers and stuff. Like, they've proven them wrong and showed that they are now the official, like, not owners, but like they run the AFC South for now. I don't think that changes this coming year. Like, I think that the Jaguars, maybe they could surprise me. F5 thinks they will. They'll, like, put up a good fight. But, I mean, we'll see. I think the Texans are just too good. Kicking off the AFC East, we have got the New York Jets, 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 who are going to be some buns this year. Oh my god, bro. Talk about a good roster and not doing anything with it, right? Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, and you're not doing anything with it. Having one of the longest playoff droughts in NFL history, in sports history. I had them going 4-13 with Justin Fields at quarterback. F5 had them going 6-11 with Justin Fields at quarterback. Some differing opinions here with a 2-win difference. F5, go!
Alright. Well, I just think, I mean, Justin Fields, I don't think he's that bad. I feel like he hasn't, like, most of the teams, like the Steelers last year, they had him in the beginning. He didn't seem bad. They didn't, like, use him. Like, I feel like they didn't use him too much after, obviously, Wilson came back. He was more like a gadget play type of guy. I think he's not going to be bad. I'm not going to say he's not going to be super good, but and just their schedule-wise, I mean, obviously they have their in-division opponents, like, you know, the Bills, and I think even the Dolphins are going to beat them, but overall, they're just going to be mid. Like, the defense isn't, like, too much to write home about. They have weapons on offense, but I just don't see them, like, it kind of working out. I mean, mainly. But
So-
alright, I'm going to pass it over to the other man.
My thing with the New York Jets is Justin Fields is not a good quarterback, straight up. I have them going on a hard losing streak from week 5 to week 15, actually, with losses to the Cowboys, Broncos, Panthers, Bengals, Browns, Patriots, Ravens, Falcons, and Dolphins. That's where most of their losses are going to come from. I mean, Justin Fields, as an Ohio State fan, he is not able to read NFL defenses. He's definitely a bust. He's fun to watch, 100%. I think he's got that Jameis Winston kind of energy to him where you don't really hate him, but he's not a good quarterback, honestly. Like, he doesn't know how to read defenses. He's kind of like Anthony Richardson where you don't want to hate him, but he's not a good quarterback either, and he probably should have had another year in Ohio State, maybe in college. Working on that, but I mean, the Jets, I think maybe that connection between Garrett Wilson and him will be good, and I'll be shocked, but I just don't think they got it this year. I mean, they got their new coach. I forgot his name. I haven't really heard much about him. Like, he's going to have to get back into this rhythm with Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson and all these guys. Breece Hall, I thought he got injured last year. He just had a down year last year. We're going to see how he does and if he's able to be this explosive running back that he was that in like 2023, I think it was, that he was like really good. We're gonna see. I don't know. I don't have them being good. M5 doesn't really have them being good either. I think they continue this playoff drought. I just don't think it's gonna happen. New York Jets, 4-13 and 6-11, not making anything anytime soon. Second team in the AFC East, we're gonna do the Miami Dolphins, which actually lines up with mine perfectly because I had them going 6 wins with this roster, which is kind of a hot take. I don't know. The Dolphins, I don't know how to, like, I don't really like the Dolphins. I don't think they're a playoff team, but that's besides the point. M5 kind of going with 8 wins, kind of replicating last year. I mean, I'll let you go because, like, we'll save my hot take and stuff. Like, how much I really gotta say about this team.
I mean, the Dolphins. I mean, Tua, the quarterback, he is good when he's on the field. That's the problem. Is these last few years he's been getting a lot of concussions and injuries, and this team honestly doesn't really function. They don't have, I would even say, they don't have really a good backup because if Tua gets hurt again, Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers is going to be the backup. And obviously Zach Wilson is not that good and Quinn Ewers is very unproven. So it's just with their schedule. I mean, they have some tough opponents, especially between weeks 9 and 11 where I don't see them winning any of those games. The offense, they have their weapons, you know. Achane is still there, Hill, Waddle, like, Jonnu Smith is gone. It's just mainly their defense. They lost a few of their players. A few of their players even got injured. Like, their corners especially are going to be pretty bad. So I think that's, like, yeah, their secondary is honestly what's going to make them go 8-9. Because overall, the defense, despite, like, maybe the defensive line, really doesn't have much. So, like, I just feel like that's what's gonna end up making them go 8-9. Like, some of those games maybe they needed to win, their corners or whatever just aren't that good, and they're just gonna cost them the game.
Yeah. So my thing with the Dolphins is, for one, I already don't really have a very good relationship with them, mainly due to Tyler Ford. Shout out to him, but he gave me a bad taste with this team. Like, I get a bad taste in my mouth when I think of them. I mean, Tua, I think he's gonna have some crazy CTE this coming season. I mean, 3 concussions is nothing to laugh at or scoff at at all. And especially when you're a quarterback, one of the most, like, important positions on the field, I don't think you're gonna be able to read defenses like that and stuff very easily. Obviously, they still have Devon Achane. We're going to see how he does. Maybe they might run the ball way more with their fast offensive scheme with Mike McDaniels and stuff. Tyreek Hill, I think he's pretty washed, especially coming off of that last season. I don't think he's going to be as explosive as he was last year. I actually didn't pick him up on fantasy because of that reason. I mean, like, the AFC East is, like, looking to be kind of stacked next year, especially with Drake May and the Patriots being greatly improved, Josh Allen and the Bills being a very established, like, team these past few years. I just don't think that Miami, and especially their defense, with literally one of the worst secondaries I think I've seen ever in the league, it's like even giving the Bengals and their secondary a run for his money. We're gonna see how that goes. They got Minka Fitzpatrick, but that's literally it. Honestly, that's the only thing. That trade was terrible. That hurt Miami so much, especially trading away Jonnu Smith and like all those guys. Like it's bad. They're gonna be pretty bad. Another team that actually, this one could be a sleeper this year, like a potential wild card team. We have got the New England Patriots. I mean, what is there to say about this team? They got their new their new quarterback, Drake May, who didn't actually do very bad last year, especially behind Jacoby Brissett for a long time. He still put up some good numbers. I mean, they got Stephon Diggs now. They got like all these guys. I had them going 7 like me and F5 both had them going 7 wins despite that, but this could would very well be wrong. I could definitely see them winning 10 or 11 games, honestly, and making the playoffs, actually. Maybe even 9 and 8. I guess probably see 9 and 8, honestly, and maybe making the playoffs in tiebreaker. I'll let F5 go. Like, we'll just see what he has to say.
I mean, with the Patriots, I mean, obviously Drake May, he seems like a decent quarterback. Obviously, his rookie year was solid. You know, maybe didn't win too many games, but overall he looked solid. He's got a couple weapons. I mean, Diggs, we'll see. I mean, he is kind of washed, but we'll see how he is. They got the new offensive lineman, the rookie, and we'll see how he is with that offensive line. And defense has like Christian Gonzalez and a couple others. I know they lost 1 or 2 people to free agency, and I just see them like at 7 and 10. I mean, their schedule wise, I just like beginning of the year, it's like first 5 weeks, it's hard for me to at least see them win a game, but maybe against like the Raiders or even like the Panthers, they get like what I feel like is an upset victory. I mean, and then just like the later half of the year, like after their bye week, I mean, it's just Bills, Ravens, Jets, and Dolphins. Like, it's hard to see them winning like all those games. Maybe, like Funa said earlier, they could be a sleeper team. Maybe get a couple of those upsets that I put as losses. But I think 7 and 10 with how their schedule is, with how their roster is, I think is the right record.
Honestly, I don't really have much to add except for like Mike Vrabel. We're gonna see how him as the new head coach is gonna do with this roster. The new offensive lineman that I talked about, Will Campbell, that was Will Campbell, right? I don't think was it Mason Graham? I don't think it was Mason Graham. Hold on, I'm gonna Google it real quick. Look at me messing up my ball knowledge. Was it Mason Grant? It was Will Campbell.
It was Will Campbell.
They got Will Campbell out of LSU. We're going to see how he does protecting Drake May, obviously. Hopefully he does give him the protection that he needs, because we all know that offensive line was terrible last year. I don't know what to really say. Like, the Patriots are the Patriots. They always had like this rich history. They could have like another, I think it was 2022 or 2021 that they made it. I'm not sure. They made it back with Mac Jones. Maybe they could have another season like that this coming year. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I think they're definitely gonna be 100% better than they were last year, especially with their receivers now. With Stephon Diggs definitely being a great improvement, giving Drake May the targets that he needs. We're gonna see how Ramondre Stevenson comes off and stuff, and how the running backs do. I think it's one of the weaker parts of the offense now, with Ramondre Stevenson coming off of one of his worser years. But we'll see. I think the Patriots could be special this year. Going to the final team in the AFC East and in the AFC and in the NFL, because this is going to be the final team that we give our record predictions for. We have got the Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Billions by 1,000,000. I had them going 13-4. M5 had them going 14-3, and actually being the 1 seed in the AFC. I mean, what is there to really talk about? Like, I'll let F5 go, and we can wrap this thing up real quick, and we can get on to our award predictions and our playoff predictions and stuff.
Alright. Well, the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen. He's the man of the hour for that team. He's a great quarterback. There's not much to talk about when it comes to that. James Cook, good running back. He got paid. The defense, Jordan Poyer got signed back for the Bills. If he makes the team, which he probably will, he's gonna help that defense a lot. Khalil Shakir is a decent receiver. I guess that I won't even say that's a weak point because Josh Allen is doing good with even those kind of receivers, and I mean it's just hard to see him really losing games. I only see him losing against really good teams. Like, yeah, I have him losing against the Texans, but just like last year, something like that happened, and I'm thinking like the Texans probably pull off another upset. But overall, I mean, the only teams I see him really losing to are like contenders, like the Eagles and the Ravens, and I haven't beaten the Chiefs because we all know how Bills Chiefs in the regular season goes compared to the playoffs. So, and overall, it's just hard to see him really losing against any other team besides maybe the Bucks pulling off an upset.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really have anything to add to that. I mean, like, Josh Allen's the top 3 quarterback in the league, and he's doing all of this crazy stuff. He's the reigning MVP as of now. Like, he's doing all this stuff with basically nobodies except for, honestly, the only guy I can name on there is Khalil Shakir. I think they got like Keon Coleman and Dalton Schultz or something, or is that the Texans? I don't know. Or it's Dalton Kincaid. Yeah, Dalton Kincaid. Like, I mean, I don't know. He's still doing all this stuff, still putting up MVP performance. That especially that touchdown versus the 49ers last year in that snow game. Like, that was a great touchdown, no doubt about it. I think it's what gave him the MVP, honestly. I mean, like, the Bills are a playoff contender. I don't see them as the 1 seed due to how crazy I think the Chiefs are gonna go this year with their stupid bullshit that they got going on. But like, definitely Super Bowl contender, no doubt about that. They just need to get over the hump like they have been doing for these past like decade. Honestly, these past 20 or 30 years, like with their 0-4 Super Bowl record. Well, like, we'll see if Buffalo can finally make it back to that bowl and win a ring for their franchise, win a ring for Josh Allen. We'll have to see how they do in our playoff picture, honestly. Now that we are finally done doing every single team in the NFL. Oh god, that took a while, I'm not gonna lie. This video is sitting at around 2 hours and 30 minutes, man. We can finally move on to the NFL 2025 playoffs, our playoff predictions. We are showing our brackets on the screen right now. At least mine is showing on the screen because I'm about to do mine first. In the 1 seed, I have got the Kansas City Chiefs. In the 2 seed, I have got the Baltimore Ravens. In the 3 seed, I have got the Buffalo Bills. In the 4 seed, we have got the Houston Texans, all as division winners. For the 5 seed, we have got the Cincinnati Bengals, my own team. For the 6th seed, we have got the I have got the Denver Broncos. I keep on saying we because I'm so used to saying that this whole video because our opinions have stayed the exact same. And then for the 7th seed, I have got the Los Angeles Chargers. Going over the NFC, we have got the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles at the 1 seed. At the 2 seed, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At the 5 seed, at the 3 seed, the Detroit Lions. At the 4 seed, the Los Angeles Rams, all as division winners once again. In the 5 seed, we've got the Washington Commanders from last year. In the 6 seed, we've got a newcomer. Not a newcomer to past years, but last year at least, we've got the San Francisco 49ers. And for the 7th seed, we have got the Green Bay Packers. At 5, let's look at your wild card predictions real quick. What do you got?
Alright, so at the first seed for the AFC, I got the Buffalo Bills. And the Chiefs, they're the 2nd seed. Baltimore takes up the 3rd. Houston takes up the 4th, with Cincinnati taking the 5th seed. We got the Chargers chilling in the 6th seed, and then a surpriser, the Jacksonville Jaguars taking up the 7th seed, going against the Chiefs.
Yeah, so all the math was actually done by me. They were in a crazy tiebreaker at 10-7 with the Steelers and the Broncos actually winning that over. So it's good to see them there. That actually might happen this year. Who knows? We'll have to look back on this in the future.
And for the NFC, the number 1 seed is the Detroit Lions. I think they're going to do it again. I mean, their roster is really good. But in the 2nd seed, I got my Bucks. On the 3rd seed, I have the Eagles, which is probably a little bit of a hot take, putting them on the 3rd seed. On the 4th seed is definitely the hottest take of my bracket, is the Seattle Seahawks, because they win the division. The 5th seed is going to be the Commanders. The 6th seed is going to be the Rams. And the 7th seed, due to all the tiebreakers, is going to the Niners.
Yeah. NFL playoffs. We'll give you our wild card predictions in the next one, and you'll see the AFC and NFC divisional round. Doing the divisional round now, giving our winners of the wild card. F5, start us off. Let's go.
Alright, so I'll start with the AFC. And the 2-seeded Kansas City Chiefs versus the 7-seed Jaguars. I mean, it's Mahomes, it's the Chiefs. They're going to pull off their nonsense. They're going to win, and they're going to host the divisional round. Next, the Ravens and the Chargers. Justin Herbert is either going to have a decent game and choke, or he's going to throw 3 picks. I think the Ravens are going to win this easily, and they're going to go against the Chiefs. And the other, honestly, one of the best games of Wild Card Weekend, Texans versus Bengals. That should be a good, high-scoring game. I have the Bengals winning and them going to Buffalo. Now on the NFC side, number 2 seeded Bucks versus the 7 seed Niners. Honestly, if the Bucks are healthy, they're gonna win this game. The Niners also have injury problems, but honestly, I think we have the talent to beat them. Next, the divisional round rematch of last year. We got the Eagles versus the Rams, and I think it's gonna go the same way with the Eagles winning in another close game. And then we got Seahawks versus Commanders. I mean, we saw last year how Sam Darnold was in his playoff game against the Rams. I mean, honestly, I think it might be either more of the same or like something similar. So I have the Commanders winning and going to Detroit, but I'm gonna pass it off to Fona for his predictions.
Yeah, so for my predictions, I have the Kansas City Chiefs at the 1 seed already having that divisional round clinch. For the Chargers and the Ravens, the 7 versus 2 seed, I got the Ravens winning that in Baltimore because we know how hard it is to win in Baltimore, especially if this game would be on prime time. I highly doubt that, but if that is on prime time, for sure the Ravens are going to win that at home. As for the Broncos and the Bills, change from M5's bracket, obviously. I got the Bills winning that in not Mile High, their stadium. I forgot what it was. I think it was like that Park Stadium or whatever. I got them winning, the Bills winning at home against the Broncos, just like last year. As for the Bengals and the Texans, no bias here. I got the Bengals winning if the defense is able to play good enough. We're going to see if the Texans are healthy by then, but I don't think they'll be able to do it. I think Joe Burrow will have a legacy game here in these playoffs. I think it'll be a very good high-scoring game, as every single Bengals game will probably be from now on. But I have the Bengals pulling through, especially in the playoffs with Joe Burrow. I think he's going to pull through. He's going to get this win, and he's going to go face Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City in the AFC divisional round for another Bengals versus Chiefs rematch. As for the NFC, I have got the Packers versus the Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers winning that with ease, as the Packers aren't exactly a playoff team, but they actually won in the tiebreakers and stuff, so the Packers are here. As for the 49ers and the Lions, I got the Lions winning that, recorrecting their mistake from 2023 and actually winning over their rival, pretty much the 49ers. As for the Commanders and the Rams, I have the Rams actually winning in SoFi Stadium against Jaden Daniels and his Washington Commanders. I think Stafford will be healthy by then, and they will go against the Eagles, with the Eagles hosting them. As for the Buccaneers and the Lions will be actually going into Raymond James Stadium and going against them, so we'll see how that game goes. And we'll give our conference championship predictions again. Kansas City, the Bengals visiting into Arrowhead Stadium. And then for the Ravens, we're going to have the Bills versus the Ravens, a rematch, an AFC divisional match rematch from last year. But this time it will be in Baltimore instead of Buffalo with the snowy conditions. It will be Baltimore in January. We'll see how that goes. We'll give you our predictions here soon. Going to the championship round. We will get to that in a minute, actually. First, we gotta do our awards, of course. We gotta do our honors and stuff for the NFL this year. I'll start us off. For number one, we'll go with, you know what, let's go with Offensive Player of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, I predict that it's going to be Jamar Chase, coming off of last year, having another really, really good season. I think he's going to pull through, get maybe 2,000 yards or something, honestly. I could definitely see that. Maybe even 2,500 and getting Offensive Player of the Year in this, what should probably be a stacked class. F5, who did you have for Offensive Player of the Year?
I mean, I also had Jamar Chase. I mean,
we both had Jamar Chase.
Yeah, he's explosive. I mean, we saw what he did last year at the Triple Crown. I feel like he could easily replicate, if not make a slightly better season than that. Especially with how the offense, is probably gonna have to carry the Bengals. Yeah, I would say so.
Coming off of that explosive season last season, that's what I just said. I think he's going to be able to pull off that Offensive Player of the Year. He's so, that speed on him. This isn't glaze, I swear. This isn't, because I'm a Bengals fan, bro. Genuinely. I do think he could win Offensive Player of the Year. If Justin Jefferson can win Offensive Player of the Year, Jamar Chase 100% can. Moving on from that, we could do Defensive Player of the Year next. Maybe a little bit of a hot take, but honestly, I think it's going to be very smart. I think Christian Gonzalez from the New England Patriots is actually going to get Defensive Player of the Year. Honestly, like, he's a really good cornerback, one of the best in the league. I think he's going to be able to get it, like, even over Patrick Surtain, because usually you don't see Defensive Player of the Years going back to back. I think Christian Gonzalez is going to be one of those guys. He's gonna get it. He's gonna be one of those sleeper people this year, and he's gonna pull through and get it. F5, who'd you have?
All right, so for Defensive Player of the Year, I got Kyle Hamilton from the Ravens. Interesting choice for sure, but I think he's just a good all-around
safety.
I know. But I got just a versatile player. Safety, he's good in coverage. He could be like a good safety blitz, get a nice few sacks. I think he's just gonna be just all around. He's gonna do a little bit of everything, and he's gonna. That's how he's gonna win it. He's gonna have good numbers on like every metric there is. He's gonna have decent sacks. Could feel like maybe 3 or something. But for a safety, that's good. He's gonna have good coverage. He's gonna have definitely a few interceptions. I think he's just gonna be like versatile.
We'll see how these go. Looking at the end of the 2025 season. Going to the rookies now. We can go to Offensive Rookie of the Year. F5, who'd you choose?
Ashton Genty from the Raiders.
Ashton Genty, the person that I said that was gonna be a bust this year.
I mean, how he looked in college. I mean, he seems like if he shows at least even half of that in the pros, he's gonna have a good career. But even just a good year in general. I mean, even from the preseason, like after that first preseason game, he's been shown to he's had that speed. He's been trucking defenders, and I feel like he's gonna have a good amount of yards, and he's gonna have definitely gonna be a focal point of that Raiders offense, considering their wide receiver room isn't the best. I think they're going to rely on him to kind of be the best part of the offense. So that's how I see it.
For my Offensive Rookie of the Year, I chose one of the most obvious picks, let's be honest. I chose Travis Hunter. Let's be honest, I think that Liam Cohen is going to work to get him the ball a ton, and the fact that his dual threat ability is just him being able to play cornerback and wide receiver, I think that's going to play a huge role in his voting and stuff for this year. I think he's going to be pretty good, 100%, second overall pick. I mean, when has a second overall pick not gone wrong, huh? Jaden Daniels came out of it last year. I think he'll definitely be one, if he doesn't win it, he's definitely going to be top 3 in voting for it if he doesn't get it. I think Travis Hunter is definitely going to go explosive this year. We're going to see what happens, though. I think he's going to do good, though. Going on to the other rookie class, we have got the Defensive Rookies of the Year. I'll start us off here with the Defensive Rookie of the Year, because F5 just started us off with the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I chose Jalen Walker from the Atlanta Falcons this year. A very interesting pick on my part, but I think he's going to be another Jared Verse situation where he's one of those later guys to get, but he's an absolute stud. Jalen Walker is an edge rusher, for those of you that didn't know, because obviously he's one of the people that isn't getting talked about much in this draft class. But I think Jalen Walker is going to be a stud. I think he's going to, I'm comparing everything to Jared Verse. I think he could be like Myles Garrett. He could be like TJ Watt or something. We'll see what happens. But I think I have a lot of hope in this young fella. I think he's going to do good. F5, who'd you choose?
I mean, I definitely went a lot safer when I picked. I chose Abdul Carter. I mean, we've seen how he is in college, and even some of his highlights in the preseason, he's shown to be a pretty good player. And I feel like he's gonna have a good amount of sacks this year. I feel like he's gonna be one of the main points of that Giants defense. Though they may not be good, I feel like he's gonna be one of the bright spots on the team. I feel like he's gonna just have a good overall year, and I feel like that's why he's gonna win.
Going to our next class, we have got the Comeback Player of the Year. M5 can start us off. We'll take turns here. We'll take turns. M5, who'd you choose?
I chose Aiden Hutchinson, which might be a little bit of a surprise, but we all know about the injury last year against the Cowboys. It was brutal. And obviously that took him out for the rest of the season and the playoffs. But from how I've seen, I mean, he seems like he's nowadays really like working well, like with that leg and everything. But I think if he has another like really good season, which I feel like he will, I mean, the Lions defense is good. He's definitely like a big part of that. He's gonna have a pretty good year, and especially after that leg injury, I think still he's going to be good, and he's going to be able to get a good amount of sacks and tackles and pressures and just be able to be a disruption against offenses, and that's why I have him coming back, being the comeback player.
For my comeback player of the year, I've got Christian McCaffrey, another safer pick, I feel like. I mean, he was injured pretty much all year last year. We know how Christian McCaffrey is. Like, he's a crazy running back. Honestly, like, I don't think that injury from him last year takes him out of the top 5. I think he's going to treat it well. He's going to come back. He's going to be as explosive as he was in 2023. Going to win that comeback player of the year as a running back, which I don't know how many times that's actually happened, considering it's mostly wide receivers and defensive players and quarterbacks and stuff. But we'll see how this goes. I think Christian McCaffrey could be one of these other sleeper players this year. Like, make sure to watch him, especially if the 49ers make the playoffs, which I had them doing. I think that Christian McCaffrey will be comeback player of the year. Next, we have got coach of the year. Start us off again. I chose Dan Quinn. I think like him and Jaden Daniels are an underrated squad. It's gonna be a good relationship between the two. Just got Terry McLaurin back, so yeah, I think if Washington goes back to the playoffs this year, I think that Dan Quinn will definitely be one of those guys that will win Coach of the Year, especially considering Kevin O'Connell made it last year with his Vikings squad.
I agree. I mean, I also got Dan Quinn winning. I mean, especially what happened last year, he ended up turning a 4-win team to NFC Championship team, and I feel like it's going to be almost more of the same. He's going to be well with Jaden Daniels. Like, he's going to have that connection, like Fona said, and I just see everything just clicking. Like, everything is going to go well with the team. Obviously, yeah, Terry McLaurin is going to be back. They got that settled. And I feel like he's just going to be able to just take this team to the level that people are expecting them now.
Now for the final, the most glorified award out of all of these, the MVP award. I chose Joe Burrow, finally getting his first MVP out of all the top 3 quarterbacks. I mean, if Jamar Chase is going to be Offensive Player of the Year, why not give Joe Burrow the MVP? That's how I felt about mine. As for you, M5, who'd you choose?
This might be considered glazed, and honestly, some people probably would say it, but I got Baker Mayfield winning it. And here's why. I think the Bucks, especially how I'm seeing like with their playoffs and everything, if the bracket is exactly right, I just see him being, he might not be I think he's going to be top 3 in yards like he was. He's going to hopefully cut down on those turnovers that he did. And I think he's just like be consistently good. Like, it feels like he's going to have like a very, I want to say like a very rare off day. Like, I feel like he's going to be able to just consistently, yes, they do have a new like offensive coordinator, but I feel like that hasn't changed him. It's already happened multiple times, and he's still been getting better and better. And I feel like, honestly, with how things are going, I think it might get even better. And so that's why I'm seeing Baker getting MVP. I think he's going to have a really good year. I mean, even some people said last year like he was almost MVP caliber besides the turnovers, and I feel like he can have a similar, if not even slightly better year.
Y'all are going to have to watch those, see if we get our predictions right on those at the end of the year. Going back to our playoff bracket, actually, F5, start us off. Who'd you have in the NFC Championship?
All right, NFC. All right. So starting off, we got Detroit versus the Commanders, the rematch. Honestly, this could go either way, but I feel like I have Detroit. Especially if they're healthy. They're gonna have the defensive players that they needed that they didn't really have. I think Goff's gonna be a little bit more careful. He's gonna be less reckless with the ball, less turnovers, and I feel like they're gonna be, they're gonna be able to beat Jalen Daniels despite how good he is. I feel like the Commanders' defense, I'm not saying they're good, but they're not like the best defense. I feel like the Lions' defense could be able to, especially if Hutchinson everything is well, like I think he will be able to disrupt Daniels. But now the Bucs versus the Eagles, 2 versus 3 in Tampa. I got my team. I got the Bucs. I mean, 2023 wild card. Most of the times we play them at home, we usually win. Like even just in general, I wouldn't say we own the Eagles. We just know how to stop this offense. We have a great run defense. We'll probably be able to stop Saquon. Our pass defense may not be the best, but I feel like if you feel like we're going to be able to, take care of things, and especially with the tush push, we got the people. We've done it once. We could do it again. We could stop it. And I just see us pulling what a lot of people would say an upset win. But for the AFC now, let's start Buffalo versus Cincinnati. I mean, again, this one could go either way because these last few, especially 2022, we had Bills versus Bengals. We all know what happened. The Bengals kind of dominated that game. But in this case, I see Buffalo winning. I think the Bengals defense is going to be the reason they lose. I feel like Josh Allen is just going to be too good for that defense to be able to stop him very well. But here we go. Ravens, Chiefs. I have the Ravens. I think Lamar is going to finally not choke in the divisional round. I think he's not going to choke like he did last year. I think Mahomes' magic is finally going to end for this season. I think Mahomes, the defense is going to be able to stuff Mahomes. Lamar, the Ravens are going to actually run the football like they should be. And I think so. But I'll pass on the phone for his.
All right, for my playoff bracket, I'm going to do this kind of quickly because we're running short on time at the moment. Sorry about that. I got Bengals versus Chiefs in the divisional. Bengals and Chiefs in the divisional at Arrowhead. I think the Bengals pull that one through. The defense is going to be a close game, 100%. Chiefs are going to be trading blows. The Bengals are going to be trading blows. Joe Burrow is the Mahomes slaughterer. He will pull through again. This isn't even glazed, I swear. This is genuinely what I think is going to happen. I think the Bengals will pull through against the Chiefs, and they will host as the 5th seed. They won't host. They will be visiting as the 5th seed in the conference championship against either the Buffalo Bills or the Baltimore Ravens, which I will tell you right now, I think that the Ravens will actually win that game against Buffalo. It will be in Baltimore. Josh Allen, I don't think he'll be able to do it with the crowd he had around him and the snow he had around him like last year. I think Lamar will make it to the AFC Championship this coming year and host the Bengals at Baltimore in this AFC Championship. And who knows, they might actually make it to that Super Bowl. They might make it to that promised land. We'll see. Coming up with our next predictions in this next segment. But moving on to the NFC Divisional, the Rams and the Eagles, another rematch from last year. I think that the Eagles and their dominance over these teams these past couple of years, I think that the Eagles will pull through and they will win over the Rams. I think the Rams will make it close, just like they did last year, but I think Saquon Barkley will go crazy. I think Jalen Hurts will have a good game in that game. I think he will do good. And especially as the 1 seed in Philadelphia, I think that the Eagles will definitely win that without a doubt. Another good game over here. The Buccaneers versus the Lions. I actually don't know about this game, but I do have the Lions winning, actually visiting Tampa Bay and coming in and winning with their dominant roster. So, I mean, I don't know what to really say. I think the Lions have a more complete roster and they will just pull through. Depends on if the Buccaneers or the Lions are injured at that time. If either one of them are more or less injured than the other, it could go either one. Depends on who's the injured one, who's the non-injured one, and we'll see. So for my AFC Championship, I've got the Bengals versus the Ravens, with the Ravens being the home one in Baltimore. And for my NFC Championship, I have got the Detroit Lions visiting the Philadelphia Eagles in Lincoln Financial Field. We'll see who we got for our Super Bowl champions here soon. Kicking off our Super Bowl predictions. This is going to be who we think is going to be in the Super Bowl coming out of the championship round. M5, start us off. Who do you have in the Super Bowl?
Alright, we'll start with the AFC. So we have Bills, Ravens, AFC Championship. Should be one hell of a game. We all know what happened last year. It's going to be tough. I mean, Josh Allen. He got a new receiver as of recording. Gabe Davis recently re-signed, so that's going to be another weapon, especially for Allen to use, as who's familiar with the team, so that could help depending on everything. Lamar is going to be good. I just think he's going to fumble again in the playoffs and the championship like he did 2 years ago. And I have the Bills going. I have Josh Allen and the Bills going to the Super Bowl.
One thing of note with that is actually that is going to be a home game for the Bills, so that's definitely going to impact things a lot more. I mean, we know how
the home crowd
is with that, and we'll see how that goes. That sounds like the correct answer, though. I think that if the Ravens were
now the
NFC
side. With the NFC, I mean, we have my Bucks going to Detroit. Obviously, this is an either-or type of game. I mean, I could see the Bucks definitely pulling off a little bit of an upset, and I could see Detroit winning like they did in 2023 divisional round. I do have Detroit going to the Super Bowl. Their roster is just a little bit more complete, especially if they're healthy. Obviously, if health for both of these teams is gonna probably decide this game, because I feel like if one team is 100% and the other one isn't, then the team that's more complete is gonna win. But this is definitely either or type of matchup. But I'll got Detroit winning in another close one like it usually is, and it's gonna be Bills versus Lions Super Bowl.
The happy ending, huh? What it should have been last year, probably. As for my playoff bracket, my Super Bowl predictions, my championship score predictions and stuff, obviously, who I think is going to advance. We got the Bengals and the Ravens in the AFC Championship. As much as I am a Bengals fan, I gotta say, stepping into Baltimore, likely on primetime. We'll have to see how that goes this next year. I'm assuming that this is on primetime, though, and we know how hard it is to win in the AFC North on primetime. We got a prime example of it last season with Joe Burrow stepping into Baltimore to try to win, and unfortunately that two-point conversion didn't turn out in the Bengals' favor, obviously. So I have got the Ravens actually making it to the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson and their crazy defense. I think if it were a Bengals home game, I think it could be a little bit different, but I don't know. With that defense, it would be a miracle they even made it there this coming season. But I got the Ravens going to the Super Bowl finally after a really long while. Obviously, it's been a long while since they've been there, obviously. Lamar has a shot at a ring. As for the NFC side of the bracket, Eagles versus Lions in Lincoln Financial Field. I think this is a mad hot take, but I think the Lions got that momentum from beating the Bucs last week, especially stepping into Raymond James Stadium. I think they will upset the Eagles at home and will make it to the Super Bowl for the first time in their franchise history to go against the Baltimore Ravens. And honestly, what isn't an ideal Super Bowl for me, but a fun one, no doubt. I'm not going to lie. That would be a very good game. Ravens versus Lions in the Super Bowl. Both playing for a lot on the line. Lamar could get his chance at a ring. Jared Goff could get his second chance at a ring and the Lions could get their first franchise ring. Honestly, it would be a miracle if they even make it there this season. This is all what I think would happen and what I would like to happen. But, yeah, I got Ravens versus Lions in the Super Bowl. M5's got Bills versus Lions in the Super Bowl. So either way, we both think that the Lions are going to make it to the Super Bowl. I think if they don't make it this year, their window will close. So that's one of the reasons I have them there. I think they got a lot to play for. I think Dan Campbell will them there, and I think them themselves will will them there to the Super Bowl without these injuries. Because we all know that's what played a huge factor in last year's game, and also Jared Goff was having a bad game. But I think them carrying that momentum, getting to the Super Bowl, I think that'll work out really well for them this season. And I think it will be Ravens versus Lions, and M5 has Lions versus Bills. Moving on to our Super Bowl champions, our predictions for that. M5. Actually, no, wait. Did you start it off last time, or did I start it off?
Yeah, I did. You started. No, for what's funny, you started off.
All right, let me start it. Let's end this off real quick, and then we can get to our outro. Thank you all so much for watching and stuff. All right. So for my Super Bowl champion, I have got the Detroit Lions. Finally getting over the hump, doing it in their final year, because as I said, this might be the final year that they have, to win the Super Bowl before their window closes. I have got the Detroit Lions winning over Lamar Jackson and his Ravens, and finally getting their first franchise ring. God, that'll be such a monumental moment if this happens this next season. I think that the Detroit Lions will overpower. I think the Detroit Lions will overpower the Ravens defense. Maybe it'll be batted up after that Bengals game, especially guarding their good receivers, obviously, because we know that T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, they are nothing to scoff at. I don't think they'll be able to get on Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. I think it'll be a really good game. Very, very offensive, but I think that the Lions and their defense will actually pull through over the Ravens defense. And I think that Detroit will finally get its first ring, and I'm really happy to say that. I really hope this does happen. Man, it'd just be such a good moment for all of us football fans, obviously. Seeing a team get their first ring is something especially after not even making it to the Super Bowl for so long. That'd be something that would beat us all in February this next year. I'll pass it over to M5 for his final Super Bowl champion prediction, and we can wrap this thing up, and thank you all for watching.
Alright, well, as much as the Lions story is great, I have them making the Super Bowl too, but unlike Fauna, I have the Bills with Josh Allen winning the Super Bowl. Finally, the Bills Mafia, the curse is over for the Bills. Those 4 Super Bowl losses in a row are finally eradicated with a win. Allen finally gets himself a ring. This one's going to be more close to a shootout like last year, it feels like. But maybe not in terms of that many points, but it's going to be something similar to that. I feel like just Josh Allen, he's too good, man. I feel like he's going to be able to almost do everything with that offense. He's going to be able to throw, run. At this point, this man gonna catch 2 or something. You never know. I think the Bills' defense is gonna be decent enough to be able to stall the Lions for a good bit, and I feel like it's just gonna be one of those shootouts where it's whoever gets the ball last kind of wins. And I feel like in that case, it'll probably be Buffalo, and they get a game-sealing field goal with 35, 38 being the score or something. And I just, it would, this also would be a great thing to see, Allen finally getting over the, AFC Championship thing, the Bills finally getting a ring themselves, especially after, they had 4 years in a row making it to the Super Bowl, but they lost all of them. And, it would just be nice seeing Josh Allen holding up a Lombardi trophy.
Yeah. having a ring on his finger once and for all. There you go, guys. Like, there's our Super Bowl predictions. There's our 2025 season predictions. We'll meet y'all in the outro here in like 5 seconds, depending on how I edit this. We'll see y'all. Alright, there it is. There you have it. There's our 2025 season predictions, our record predictions, our playoff predictions, our award predictions, every single prediction that you could have guessed. You saw it all in this video. We really do want to thank you guys for watching. If you did make it this far, you guys did watch the whole video. Like, genuinely from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. This is a long video, obviously.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, at the time of editing this right now, this is like almost around it's about 3 hours long. So who knows how long it'll be when I'm actually finished editing it and it is actually recorded. But like, seriously, we want to thank you guys. This took a lot of time to make. So a like, a comment, a share, a subscription especially, so you guys can check out some of the other stuff that we put out on this channel. That would all be greatly appreciated. We will be reacting to almost every single game this NFL season, so make sure to check out those. We'll be live streaming it and stuff. We're trying to really work on this channel, get some content out for y'all. This is a really fun, kind of passion project that we got here. That's why we made this whole video in the first place, because we wanted to look back on it, and we were putting in our passion here, sacrificing some time for it. That's all I gotta say though. M5, if you got anything to say, go ahead and say it now. I'm gonna wrap this thing up.
There's not much I'm gonna add. I'm just gonna say with all our predictions, we try to make them as realistic to how we think, because I've seen some of those reactions where they'd be seeing insane teams, just seeing the most random team for winning 13 games, but overall, thank you guys if you did stick, especially if you're one of those people that watched the whole thing in one sitting, not just certain sections. Still. But anyways, I got nothing really else to say. You kind of said everything.
We're done here, guys. You guys have a good rest of your night, day, morning, wherever time it is for you at whenever you're seeing this right now. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, guys.